The first place New England Patriots battle the Cleveland Browns. New England has won 4 consecutive games. The Browns have lost 5 in a row, have a new coach, and a new outlook. Our kickoff is next. It feels colder than 41 degrees with Randy Cross, Kevin Harlan. There is a breeze. It's coming off the lake. We're in Cleveland, Ohio. The New England Patriots beat Baltimore last week 24-3. Pittsburgh's 10-1. New England is 10-1.
Saw a good example last week, Kevin, in the mud in New England. Why you want home field advantage in this league. If you've got a field edge, you want to get it, and that's exactly what New England's goal is, home field advantage.
The Cleveland Browns have lost 5 straight. They lost at Cincinnati last week, 58-48, Randy, in the second highest scoring game in NFL history. And there is the series history between these two. 9-3, the New England Patriots beat the Cleveland Browns a season ago. Kicking off, Phil Dawson, who was on the New England practice squad back in the 98 season. And we're underway, and Bethel Johnson is deep back. And he'll take it from inside the 10-yard line. The reserve wide receiver with the good block on the play by Patrick Pass. And on the run, and chased on the play by Earl Little. He will take it the distance. And the Super Bowl champions watch their return man go all the way. Bethel Johnson with his second touchdown return in his career on a kickoff.
Well, Bethel Johnson first showed last year in the preseason in a game against the Washington Redskins this type of breakaway speed and instinctive running on a kickoff return. He showed it last year, especially in Indianapolis against the Colts in a big win. And it's dangerous when a defending world champion can keep adding parts and keep bringing out things as far as weapons. And Bethel Johnson's a big weapon as a kick returner.
93-yard kickoff return, the second of young Bethel Johnson's career. The Vinatieri extra point is up and in. The last time the Browns allowed a kickoff return for a touchdown, 1986. That is interim head coach Terry Robiskie on the right, and he has just seen the second stint as an interim head coach in the NFL start off very poorly. Bethel Johnson returns at 93 yards for the touchdown. They have scored first, as you see, in 17 straight regular season games, and here is the ensuing kickoff, and this is Alston from the 10-yard line, hit and brought down on the play by Rodney Harrison. They have so many starters on these New England special teams. A 20-yard return.
Here's Patrick Pass. Here's Bethel Johnson, who really just comes right behind it and takes it out. But watch the block by Patrick Pass being the deciding block right here at the end. Keeps his feet, gets his block. That does it for the return. What always impresses me about the Patriots on their special teams is how many of their defensive starters are in there. McGinnis is in there. Bruski's in there. They don't hesitate to use starters on special teams.
From the 31-yard line, Luke McCown, who has never started in the NFL and has only thrown one pass, getting ready to throw his second, and then is dropped by Antonio Bryant with the coverage on the play by rookie Randall Gay. Second down. Luke McCown, first NFL start. He is out of Louisiana Tech. Center Jeff Bain anchors an injured Brown offensive line. And ex-Dallas wide receiver Antonio Bryant had 131 yards of receptions a week ago at Cincinnati. Second down and 10-31. Hand off to William Green, who played at Boston College and drilled by Ty Warren, among others, and probably given a 1-yard gain to the 32-yard line. It'll be third down. The New England defense comes in number 9. Defensive end Richard Seymour, a 2-time Pro Bowler. Linebacker Teddy Bruski has forced 2 fumbles that have resulted in New England touchdowns. And Randall Gay, a rookie free agent, starts for the injured Tyrone Poole. 32-yard line, and it's third down along 9. They've got to get to the 41. And McCown being chased on the play by Jacob Green and a Jarvis Green and an incomplete pass. Bruschi was defending the linebacker on wide receiver Antonio Bryant. So it's 3 and out for the Cleveland Browns.
And this is really the definition of good news, bad news for the rookie Luke McCown and the interim coach Terry Robiskie. The good news is you're a starting quarterback and you're getting an interim shot as a head coach. But the bad news is the world champions are coming to town. And being a rookie facing this defense is what you draw up in this situation as worst case scenario.
Eric Frost will punt. They used to have Chris Gardocki here in Cleveland. He left and went to Pittsburgh, and Troy Brown is back from the 32-yard line of the Patriots. And then hit out of bounds by Kevin Bentley at about the 37-yard line. It is a 36-yard punt by Frost and a 3-yard return. Our first look at two-time Super Bowl MVP Tom Brady when we come back. Cleveland just had a 3 and out, and so New England's offense gets it for the first time. Bethel Johnson opened the game on a 93-yard kickoff return from the 37. Brady with Gibbons in motion. And Corey Dillon, a Patrick pass block, and in the secondary and brought down by Lewis Sanders at the 42-yard line. That is a gallop of 21 yards. For 1,000-yard gainer again, Corey Dillon. Tom Brady comes into today with the best active record among quarterbacks in the NFL. Left tackle Matt Light twisted an ankle last week, but starts today. Running back Corey Dillon, the 5th leading rusher in the NFL. It is a first down from the Cleveland 42. Pass becomes the 3rd receiver. And Brady incomplete, low and uncatchable for Gibbons. In the vicinity was Sean Thompson, a linebacker. The defense for the Browns, number 9 in pass coverage. They have right end Kennard Lang, 5 sacks. Warwick Holman leads a depleted linebacking core, and cornerback Lewis Sanders, a special teams ace, starting for the injured Dalen McCutcheon. 2nd down and 10.
Everyone talks about the multiple looks this New England offense can give you, but if you start seeing multiple tight ends, that means you're way behind and they're pounding you with the run.
From the 42-yard line, and Dillon in the backfield with the call. There's a block by Stephen Neal. There's also a block by Gibbons and brought down by Crocker, among others on the defense. He is to the 35-yard line, picking up 7 yards. Corey Dillon. Some of Randy's crosstalk today.
Robiskie, and stick with the formula if you're New England. That means Corey Dillon running the ball, defense getting you turnovers, and Tom Brady making big plays with the pass. And if you're the Cleveland Browns, this really is week 1 of a 5-week audition. It's not just an audition here in Cleveland. It's an audition to the NFL for everybody involved.
There's one tight end. They're at the 35, 3rd and 3. This drive began back at the New England 37. The fake to Dillon. And here comes the rush, and Brady is brought down. Kennard Lang, and there's a flag. Gerard Warren brought him down. There's also a flag downfield inside the 20-yard line. A loss of 9 on the sack right there, back to the 45.
Well, the first penalty was back in the defensive backfield. That might be illegal contact or holding. I know what the second one is. The second one is going to be a blow to the head on the quarterback when they hit Tom Brady. Helmet-to-helmet contact.
Bill Carollo is our referee, one of the best in the business, officiated Super Bowl 37, and a terrific guy to boot. As you take a look at Terry Robiskie, an 8th-round draft choice years ago by the Oakland Raiders. He also played for the Miami Dolphins as a running back.
Yeah, actually, this may involve a shot to the head both ways, and both penalties being against Cleveland.
There are 2 fouls in the play. Illegal contact, 51. Defense. That penalty is declined. Personal foul, roughing the passer. Helmet-to-helmet hit. Number 61, defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Gerard Warren.
Very simple. You can't hit a quarterback in this league high. It may be an attempted sack, but helmet to helmet. You see Warren face to face hitting Tom Brady. And coming in from the inside, Sean Thompson, 51, just wraps the head of Gibbons, 87, the receiver, and that's called from the back by the back check. Excellent calls both ways.
It is a 1st and 10. The tight end Graham is in motion. 30-yard line. The pitch out to Dillon. There's a block by Graham, a block by pass, and driven out of bounds by Crocker. At about the 30, there is little or no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. By the way, Gerard Warren was that same player a couple weeks ago who threatened to do that to Ben Roethlisberger with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Part of how being the total package football-wise in this league isn't speed and agility and everything else. If you don't use that which was encased in that helmet, you don't use your brain, you're not the total package, and he has to use his brain not only when running his mouth but also when hitting quarterbacks.
Fourier is in as an extra tight end. It is 2nd down 11. They've got to get down to the 22. That's Gibbons in motion, and Dillon remains in the backfield against the base defense of Cleveland. They blow that dead in mid-motion. It's Kennard Lang, a former #1 selection by the Washington Redskins. 10-1, the New England Patriots record coming into today. That is their best mark through 11 games in franchise history.
Neutral zone infraction, 96. Defense, 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Bill Belichick, the coach of the New England Patriots, facing his former team. He was a coach here in the early 90s until 95, actually.
And he is the leader, I think, of the best teachers in the league. They happen to be coaches, but these coaches for New England really know how to specifically teach their players to play the positions and the situations they want.
2nd down and 6, and they blow that dead before they have even a chance to get it underway.
False start, 76. Offense, 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
It's Brandon Gorin who's replacing the injured Tom Ashworth at right tackle.
And I talk about teachers on that New England staff. There isn't a better example than Dante Scarnecchia, who's the offensive line coach. Gorin just jumped off sides, but this is a relative group of unknowns that do some great work up front, not only for Brady, but also for Dillon. There's Dante right there.
31-yard line, 2nd down 11. This began back at the New England 37 after a Cleveland 3-and-out. And Brady, here comes Lang, grabs him again, fumble on the play, and recovered by the Pats at the 35. And gobbled up on the play by an offensive lineman. That was the center, Cope, and it's a loss of 4 back to the 35-yard line. Little pass rush in there by the defensive line.
There's Kennard Lang right there. Watch how he gets there. Kind of the old-fashioned way. He goes underneath, gets a quick break on Todd Light, and then gets Brady. Remember, we showed the graphic earlier, but last year these two teams met, and the score was 9-3.
Right.
And the score was 9-3 was because the defensive line up front for Cleveland decided that day they really wanted to play. And right now, Kennard Lang and company are playing very similar to the way they did last year.
There is a timeout. They've got 3rd and 15. The Patriots burn their first timeout, leading 7-0 on a kickoff return. Recap from all of today's NFL games, including insight from CBS Sports. Merle Little is in the set as another receiver. Falk in the backfield. 3rd and 15. They got to get. Brady almost intercepted by Crocker, incomplete 20-yard line. It's hard to say who they were going after, but it looked like in the vicinity they had Branch, and so it is 4th down, and it looks like they're going to punt.
Well, where they were going, Tom Brady's trying to get it back in here in the zone, just trying to zip it in between the safety and the corner. And Crocker does a nice job of poaching. And Brady sure doesn't think that Crocker's going to get up in time to get that one.
7 plays punt for the New England Patriots. Josh Miller, who struggled against Baltimore last week, but who wouldn't in that driving rainstorm, pooches it. Northcutt lets it go inside the 10 to about the 8. It is a 27-yard, well-placed Josh Miller punt. Bethel Johnson with a kickoff return. Patriots on top. The New England Patriots have got Mike Vrabel in there, hurt his foot But he's in there starting, and Don Davis, a guy that you're really intrigued with, the linebacker playing a safety position for this team.
Free safety, standing about the 20-yard line.
After 7 plays, punt by New England from the 8-yard line. Rookie quarterback Luke McCown hands off to William Green, who's brought down by Robiskie initially. It's a gain of 3 out to the 11-yard line.
Hey, for those of you that aren't familiar with Luke McCown, this young quarterback comes out of Louisiana Tech, and this is a guy that, total yardage, over 13,000 yards as a college quarterback. So he's not unfamiliar with the ability to having to really throw the ball down the field. And there's his parents and his wife Katie sitting up in the stands, and this is his big chance. This is a big test.
11-yard line, 2nd down and 7. Terrell Smith, the fullback, in for the first time. McCown had a tip, but it was caught by Antonio Bryant. He is tackled on the play at the 20-yard line and grabbed by McGinnis. Gain of 10. It is a Cleveland first down. His wife is excited about that one.
We talked earlier, Kevin, about Don Davis. Here's Don Davis at safety. Why do you do that? Because you're not worried really too much about anybody throwing deep on you in the middle of the field, much like Baltimore last week when they played New England. This football team in Cleveland does not threaten the middle of the field that well.
That was his first NFL completion. Here's a handoff on 1st and 10. It goes to William Green, who's hit by Ted Johnson after a gain of 1 at the 22. Folks, StatTrax will keep you updated on today's game stats and can be seen coming out of the upper part of the screen, and updated scores and information of other games is called Game Tracks. That's seen in the lower portion of your television screen. 2nd down 9. They got to get just beyond the 30. There are 2 tight ends in, Shea and Hyde on the 22. William Green. And then runs right into the teeth of that defense. Richard Seymour among many in there. A gain of 4 out to the 26.
So obviously, when you've got a linebacker back at free safety, to sort of continue on that point, if you're Luke McCown and the Cleveland offense, you want to try to exploit that in the middle of the field. Find a way to get your patterns, get your tight ends in the middle of the field, get the formation such you can threaten him and make him cover a wide receiver. That's a matchup you have got to be nuts about.
Moreland is in the secondary along with Troy Brown. 3rd and 5. Jarvis Green on the defensive line.
Troy Brown always in the slot. That's him moving in motion.
And from the 26, McCown. Here comes the rush. Throws outside. Incomplete. He was being chased by McGinnis. He was going outside. It looked like to Northcutt. Regardless, it is an incomplete pass. And for a second consecutive possession, the Cleveland Browns have got a punt.
And Troy Brown there, I said he was always in the slot. Basically, as a defensive back, which he's been playing since training camp, Bill Belichick's just asking him to be the mirror of what he is on offense. He's a slot receiver on offense. He says, okay, Troy, you play the defensive position on the other side of the ball. You'll see the same patterns. We'll ask you to do the exact opposite of what we ask you to do on offense.
Derek Frost to punt for a second time. Gerard Cherry providing the pressure on the punter. And a fair catch made, 31-yard line by Troy Brown. A 43-yard Derek Frost punt. He is so good, just like everybody on this team. Timeout. Patriots set to get it for a second time. 7 plays punt. The first time they had it for this first-place team in the AFC Eastern Division. Tied at 10-1 with Pittsburgh for the best record in the AFC overall. Jets at 8-3 from the 32. It's 1st and 10. 5 in the secondary, including Earl Little. There's a fumble by Corey Dillon. It's loose and recovered by the Browns at the 32-yard line. It may have been Warren. And they're still grappling for it down below, but it is Cleveland's ball. And Alvin McKinley is the one to vacuum it in, and the first turnover of the game goes to the Cleveland Browns. And a big fumble with great position for Cleveland's offense coming up.
This is just an exchange between Tom Brady and Corey Dillon. Look at Gerard Warren get penetration. He actually swats the ball with his backside hand. Great job by Warren from the backside, getting penetration on the working on the guard. 61's Warren just gets that hand in there and swats that thing away, working against Stephen Neal.
Dexter Reed is now in the backfield, secondary. That is for the New England Patriots. It is 1st and 10 from the 32. McCown getting a block from Gonzalez, chased by Wilfork, and lobs it downfield where it is broken up and incomplete inside the 10. They were going for Antonio Bryant. Northcutt was down there as well. There's a flag on the play. Coverage by Eugene Wilson.
Holding, 50, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
One thing to remember here, too, Terry Robiskie is the interim head coach. It said, hey, look, I don't want to do this like last time. Last time I did this, I stayed the offensive coordinator. So Rob Chudzinski, the tight ends coach, is now the offensive coordinator calling the plays. And you've got Dave Campo on the other side running the defense. And this time, Robiskie's just trying to be the head coach.
2 tight ends from the New England 27. McCown throws, and it is intercepted. I think Rodney Harrison has it. He does. At the 4-yard line, and Luke McCown has just thrown his first NFL interception, picked off by the veteran Rodney Harrison, his 3rd, make it 2nd interception of the season. So the teams exchange possessions.
Hey, you see the old thing on the side of the road sometimes, the sign that says your ad could be here? Well, there should be a sign on this play that says your pass shouldn't be here. That's a young quarterback trying to fit something into and seeing something that isn't really there. But how many wide receivers that got that kind of hands and that kind of ball skills like Rodney Harrison shows catching that one? But, in reality, Kevin, you've gotten a turnover. This is just like a great punt. Your defense is playing well. Now you've got their offense backed up. Keep them there.
2 tight ends for Brady. 4-yard line. It is 1st and 10. And Dillon, who fumbled the last time, is met and brought down. Hit by Warwick Holdman, a gain of a yard. He's out to the 6. Let's go to New York and Greg Gumbel.
All right, thank you, Kevin. The Titans and the Colts and Billy Volek at quarterback for injured Steve McNair lets loose and as accurate as can be. 48 yards to Drew Bennett with a field goal. The Tennessee Titans lead the Colts 10-3, coming up on 6:45 to play in the first.
Thank you, Greg. Tennessee lost an 18-point lead last week. They're in last place in the South, taking on first place Indianapolis, 2nd down 9. And here comes Corey Dillon, hit by Barry Gardner, the ex-Philadelphia Eagle, gain of 5 out near the 10. Rodney Harrison interception set this up for the New England Patriots after Corey Dillon fumbled.
Say, Gerard Warren inside. We saw him cause that one fumble. The first play back, he does the exact same thing. I mean, he today has decided he wants to play. He wants to be a force. And he's working against Stephen Neal. And so far, it is Gerard Warren's game inside. Find a way to deal with him. And the best way to deal with a defensive lineman is usually to run right at him.
Little is an extra defensive back. Falk is in the backfield. Patton is an extra receiver. It is 3rd down and 4 for Brady. And spinning away. And he's got the first down. Grabbed by Tyrone Rogers and scrambles past the 20. It's a gain of 10. And Brady will move the chains.
Well, we talked about the young rookie McCown's ability to move a little bit on the ground. Well, here's a quarterback that's won 2 Super Bowl MVPs, and he's won his MVPs and gotten his status in this league. And that's a good example of how he's done it. He finds a way. It isn't always pretty. It's not always the biggest pass or the biggest run, but Tom Brady finds a way to beat you.
Brown is a receiver. It is a first down for the Patriots at the 20-yard line. The Dan Copeland snap, and Brady quickly outside. Gibbons, who is met and brought down by Lewis Sanders, along with Robert Griffith. The gain to the 26. It's a gain of about 5.5. Rodney Harrison's interception at the 4. New England now in a couple plays. 2nd down and 5. They're up to the 26-yard line. But Brady's changing things up. Patrick pass, a block for Corey Dillon. There's a block by Gibbons and hit and brought out of bounds by Griffith. And he's out of bounds at the 35, picking up 9. Another first down. Back to New York and Greg Gumbel.
All right, thank you, Kevin. This time to Miami, where Buffalo breaks a 7-7 tie. Look at Drew Bledsoe. Patient, hits the short pass to Tim Hughes, 15 yards and a touchdown, and the Bills lead the Dolphins 14-7, just under 6 to play in the first quarter. Kevin and Randy.
Kevin, it's amazing. In the last couple of weeks, Drew Bledsoe getting some excellent protection and some running out of McGahee. He's not the old quarterback anymore, is he?
No, not at all, but he has had interceptions. Bledsoe has on the road, 10 over the last 3 road games. It is a pass knocked away by Brady. Inside, McKinley got in there. On that 1st and 10 pass, they've been pressuring Brady. He had only been sacked a couple times over the last 2 games. 2nd down and 10.
Well, I'll tell you what, I talked about Dante Scarnecchia, the offensive line coach of the New England Patriots. I think it's time for old coach on the sideline to get about knee deep in his charges, because that offensive line right now is just getting it handed to him by a really inspired group on the defensive line for Cleveland. There's Dante Scarnecchia, and there's Andre Patterson, the D-line coach for the Browns.
3 tight ends, including Weaver. 2nd down, 10 from the 35. The pitch out to Corey Dillon. Great block by Copen. And a tackle in the secondary made by Chris Crocker. Another first down near midfield. Gain of 15. You said that the one new good dimension for this Super Bowl championship team, the running of Corey Dillon.
Well, in the past, the line's done well, and Corey and it was Antoine Smith late in the season running the ball. Well, Corey Dillon from week 1 has been pounding the ball. And see that power? That's the difference that Corey Dillon brings to this game for the New England Patriots. You know, this drive, 4 rushes, 30 yards, and he's handed out a couple beatings along the way.
Cedric Cobbs is in the game as a backfield man, a rookie out of Arkansas, 1st and 10. And Cobbs with the call, hit by Warwick Holden and brought down 46-yard line. That is only his 2nd carry in his career. It's a gain of 3 yards on the play. 9th play of the drive coming up. It'll be 2nd down and 7. They've got to get to the 39. They begin at the 4. Kevin Falk this time. And he takes it. There was a terrific block thrown by Gibbons. The tackle is made by Kevin Bentley. It is a 1st down run. He's to the 37, gain of 10.
And see, now New England's got the running game in a different level because of Corey Dillon, because not only does he have the power, he also has that speed to get outside. Then you bring in a Kevin Falk, and you just had to see that decision. That was good blocking, like you pointed out, Kevin. But you see Kevin Falk decide, I'm going north and south, and just jet through there for that 1st down.
Corey Dillon is back in. Patrick Pass back there with him. It is a 1st down at the 37-yard line. Caught by Christian Fourier, a block downfield by Graham, and he lumbers his way to about the 11-yard line. Hit by Barry Gardner, a 25-yard pickup, another New England 1st down.
I talked about Dante Scarnecchia, the offensive line coach, having to get after his guys. Watch the pocket that forms around Brady. Sometimes being a good coach is teaching your guys that they better get themselves out of a hole. The line blocking extremely well for the run and for the pass is why New England's in the process of this long drive that started on their 4-yard line.
2 tight ends. That was a season-long catch by Fourier. 1st and 10 from the Cleveland 11. And Corey Dillon, another Graham block. He goes into Anthony Henry. He's about the 5-yard line, maybe even inside there. Let's mark him at the 4. It is a 7-yard pickup for Dillon, who had a 16-yard run earlier on this drive.
See, what I love, too, about Corey Dillon, and one of the reasons his coordinator, Charlie Weiss, I think is so free to give him the ball, especially on the outside, is that piston that Dillon has is a straight arm. 9 carries so far, 65 yards, and Charlie Weiss said the coordinator knows if I give it to Corey and he goes outside, he's going to jack somebody with that straight arm.
Now there are 3 tight ends, including Weaver. 2nd down and 3 at the Cleveland 4. And Corey Dillon, nice patience, and he dives across. A flag is down. It's a touchdown if it counts.
Might have been a delay of game. Play clock. They didn't get the play off in time.
Patriots seem to think it's on Cleveland.
It might have been just too many guys on the field.
They had some confusion with their personnel.
12 men on the defense. That penalty has declined. Result of the play, touchdown.
That is the longest New England touchdown drive since November 2001. So it began at the 4 on an interception by the defensive back Rodney Harrison.
So I guess when you change your coach and you play in the world champ, it's just not fair to use 12 still, huh?
I think they'd be able to tack on one more. The Vinatieri extra point is up and in. On that drive, Brady ran for 10 yards. Dillon had a 16-yard run. And a nice pass, catch, and run by Fourier of 25 yards. And this is how it was capped. Corey Dillon. That is his 8th rushing touchdown this season. Corey Dillon had a 4-yard touchdown run. Bethel Johnson had the opening kickoff and took it 93 yards for a touchdown. 14-0 the New England Patriots. And the kickoff by Vinatieri. And Alston from the 10-yard line for the Cleveland Browns. It's by Davis, then is brought down nicely by Patrick Pass. A 24-yard return, and he's out to the 33-yard line.
And we talked a little bit about the running game for New England. Well, what Luke McCown needs right now, he needs a running game. He's got to have something to take a little pressure off of him.
Couple tight ends from the 33 with Antonio Bryant in motion. A block by Green. Time for McCown, and he throws a pass which is caught by Northcutt at about the 39-yard line. And hit on the play by Harrison, among others. Patriots on top, 14-0. We'll return to Cleveland after these messages as you're watching the NFL on CBS. Log on to NFL.com, see what they're saying about the AFC. That's on NFL.com or NFL on AOL. We begin the second quarter, second down 4, 39-yard line of the Browns, who have had it 3 times, 2 punts, and an interception. Flag is thrown. Green with the call and tripped up nicely. Coming from the linebacking core to make that stop. Bruschi, gain of 5 out to the 44, but we'll wait and see what that flag is all about.
It's about Vince Wilfork almost jumping through the legs of Jeff Fain, the center for Cleveland.
Patriots had a season-high penalty yards last week in that muck at home against Baltimore.
Offside defense, 75. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
Wilfork, the rookie from Miami, and a first-round draft choice.
A little different for New England, too. I mean, they carry 5 defensive linemen today. Of course, they have 11 linebackers, and with guys like Vrabel and McGinnis, you basically have defensive ends as linebackers.
44-yard line. It is a 1st and 10. The end around to Northcutt. There's a block by Verba. He gets away from Seymour. Northcutt is driven out of bounds by Harrison. By midfield, the Patriot 48, gain of 8.
Okay, here is what Luke McCown needed. He needs a little run. He needs a little variety. You know, Rob Chudzinski, now the offensive coordinator for Cleveland, and Terry Robiskie have got a little rhythm going for the kid. Now you're giving him a fighting chance. To ask him to go against this defense and throw 75% of the time is extremely unrealistic.
Don Davis is in the secondary on this defensive series for the Pats. Second down 2. They're at the 48-yard line of New England. It's Green again. Hit, brought down by Wilfork. And I think he's got the yardage for a first down to the 45 on a gain of 3. William Green, who played at Boston College. First-round pick in the 2002 draft. Those are the numbers on Green today. 6 for 16. New England comes in having won 4 consecutive games. 10-1 record. Cleveland comes in. They've lost 5 in a row, and they've lost 6 of their last 7 with the coaching change midweek. Butch Davis gone. Terry Robiskie is the interim man at the 45-yard line. 1st and 10 to fake to Green. The rookie McCown. A block on Wilfork. He gets away from Seymour and from Warren. And this is what he did so well at Louisiana Tech, and he just rushes for a first down, an 11-yard scramble by the rookie from Louisiana Tech. Let's go back to New York, and Greg Gumbel with this NFL update.
All right, thank you, Kevin. At Indianapolis, Billy Volek in for injured Steve McNair has thrown his second touchdown pass of the day to Drew Bennett. 28 yards, 17-10. The Titans lead the Colts. 2:15 to play in the first, guys.
That's something else. We talked about McNair hinting at retirement earlier in the week.
And that run Peyton's on, if they double that to 34, I don't think it's still enough to beat the Colts.
So after the 11-yard scramble by the rookie quarterback, he's got a first down and dumps it off to Green, who's got an entourage, and Damian Cook provided a block, but nice defensive tackle work made by Seymour. The gain is to the 30. It's a gain of 4 on the play.
You know, on that play that McCown scrambled so well on, they were trying to do what we talked about earlier, and that's exploit the middle of the field with Don Davis, the linebacker, playing free safety. And Davis did an excellent job on the top side taking it away. That's why McCown had to get out there and scramble after it. And they haven't thrown any passes so far to the tight ends. They've been a huge weapon for Cleveland.
This drive began back at the 33. McCown an 11-yard run, the highlight of it so far. And here's the handoff to Green. Grabbed by McGinnis, then brought down. Devoured at the 32 and a loss of 2 on the play.
Sometimes the defense can be effective because of its speed. You know, Miami's like that, or its strength, which is a real forte of the Baltimore Ravens. Well, Willie McGinnis in this defense is so experienced and so savvy, and that's a typical example right there. He just is not going to get out of position. I mean, you got an old vet out of USC like McGinnis and a fireball in the middle like Robiskie. They just don't get out of position.
It's 3rd down and 8. They got to get down inside the 25. Crispin Jackson is a third receiver, little shovel pass, and it's caught by Green, who is hit by Earthwind Moreland near the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 2. Moreland was a guy who's bounced around a little bit. Makes a nice play there.
Yeah, one of the things about beating a New England team or staying with a New England team is beating them in situations. How do you do on first down? How do you fare on third down? When you go for it in a situation like this on 4th down, how do you fare in the situations? Belichick has been better than anybody in this league the last couple of years in winning situations.
5 in the secondary, including Troy Brown, and Moreland remains 4th and a short 5. Again, they got to get inside the 25. Here's McCown, the blitz by Harris in the pass, caught by Northcutt, and he's brought down by Troy Brown. And shy of the first down, he gained 2. He needed 5, and on downs, Cleveland turns it over.
And this is a great example of that play of this team. You got Brown in the slot, you got Blitz from the backside. That's what this defense does well in those situations.
That's what Cleveland has done today. Patriots have scored on a Corey Dillon touchdown run, a game-opening 93-yard kickoff return by Bethel Johnson. 1st and 10. That's over the head of the aforementioned Corey Dillon on a pass by Brady on 1st and 10. New England gets this after they watch Cleveland turn it over on downs.
Well, here's Troy Brown. Who knows better about how to read receivers, especially guys working in a slot like the Cleveland guys, than a guy that plays slot receiver like Troy Brown. He reads that pattern perfectly. He's aided by the backside blitz, which makes McCown hurry, and he's right there. What they're asking him to do is the exact opposite of what he does on offense. It's like looking in a mirror.
Patrick Pass is in the backfield, 2nd down and 10. Gibbons on the move. We're on the 28. Corey Dillon hit by Gardner, brought down to the 29. Also Griffith in there, the former Pro Bowler with the Vikings. It's a gain of 1. Busy day in the NFL to New York, and Craig Gumbel.
It is that, Kevin, in Indianapolis. Edgerrin James from 4 yards out finds the end zone. The extra point has Tennessee and Indianapolis tied at 17. 50 seconds still to play in the first quarter, Kevin and Randy.
Of course, James, Greg, the number 2 rusher in the NFL. Over the last 3 games, the Colts have averaged 47 points a game.
They specialize in track meets inside that dome.
They do. 3rd and 9. Out to the 38 is where they got to get the first down. They're at the 29 right now. The shotgun snap from Colton to Brady. It's caught by Branch. He was hit by Crocker, brought down, and he's got the first down to the 43. It's a gain of 13 on 3rd down and 9.
Very unique group of receivers for Tom Brady here in New England. Each one of these guys does something a little bit differently. You got the diversity of a Troy Brown. You got the reliability of Pat. You've got the speed you've already seen of Bethel Johnson running down the field, and you have the suddenness of a Deion Branch who came back from injury the last couple weeks to really be a big impact player.
2 tight ends in. 1st and 10 pitch out. Flag is down, and Dillon is down after being hit by Sean Thompson. Gain of 8. Ball's out to the 50, but we'll see what that flag is all about. Thrown at the 43.
It's against Cleveland.
Patriots scored first today on that kickoff return. 17th consecutive game they have scored first. That is an NFL record. And very impressive.
Offside, defense, number 93. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, 2nd down.
And what that does, Kevin, you talk about that, it gets you behind the sticks. And then you get in great advantageous field position and down position. Who are they going to throw it to? Look at that distribution. I mean, they spread the ball better than anybody else in this league. Even Peyton Manning doesn't use as many weapons as Tom Brady does.
2nd down and 2 from midfield. Here comes Dillon. Good block by Weaver. That opens the door and a 1st down run. A tackle was made by Orpheus Roy. Gain of 4 to the 46-yard line of the Cleveland Browns.
Dillon now 13 carries for 82 yards, 1 touchdown, and he has that ability, even at his size, to go sideways and forwards at the same time. He does. He can shake you sideways, but he never stops going forward, and those rushing yards are starting to wear on this defense.
Pass is in the game, 46-yard line. Graham, the tight end, is in motion. The fake to Dillon. Look at the time for Brady, and flicks it outside. Bunt by pass, and hit outside in the secondary by Lewis Sanders. Gain of a yard, about the 45, 44-yard line. 2nd down 8. They got to get to the 36. From the 45, Brady. 3 receivers, and Patton is the 3rd. Dillon over the head of Patton, who was covered in the play by Anthony Henry. Incomplete. 3rd and 8.
And I talked a little bit earlier about, play your game for New England, and that's what New England's doing. New England is playing their game and imposing their game on the other team, and that's why they're so good at it. When Bill Belichick gets a lead on you like this, he'll stay methodical, they'll keep running it, and they stay within their plan for this particular game, and their plan changes every week.
New England got the ball on the 28-yard line in their own zone after they held Cleveland on a 4th and 5. They got it on downs. 3rd and 8. Again, they got to get to the 36. Pass is at the side of Brady. 5 in the secondary, including Little. And Brady hit as he throws, going deep down the middle and off the fingertips of Peck. Flag is thrown. Coverage by Sanders and by the aforementioned Earl Little.
There's contact down the field by Sanders, I think. It looked more like a trip than it did a push.
Yeah.
I mean, all 3 guys are flat running and looking back at the ball.
Pass interference, defense, 21. Automatic 1st down, spot the foul.
That kid started the day for Dalen McCutcheon, who's injured.
As he was described, was an excellent special teams player.
Yes,
when you have to start him. See the little contact. See, to me, that's interpreting the rules as they currently are. But also to me, that's ridiculous. Calling that pass interference, I think is ridiculous. And it's not the officials' fault. They're just doing what they were told to do. But I think saying that that's pass interference, you're going to have games of 58-48 every week if that's pass interference every day.
39-yard penalty. There are 3 tight ends in the game. And on 1st and goal from the 5, Kennard Lang brings down Corey Dillon. No gain. 2nd down and goal at the 5. The New England Patriots coming after a nice win last week in the muck over Baltimore, 24-3. Riding along with their best start. First 11 games of the season at 10-1. Cleveland changed coaches this week. They feel they've got a brand new outlook on the remaining 5 games of the season. They're 3-8. 2nd down goal at the 5. Again, 2 tight ends. Gibbons in motion, and Dillon was the guy in the backfield. What a quick pass it was, and it was shy. It was to Gibbons.
Flag down.
And there's a flag down. Gibbons was brought down at the 1. Quickly hit by Lewis Sanders.
It's going to be a face mask against Cleveland. Not that you could move the ball any further or any closer to the end zone, but... What a great improv by Tom Brady. Seeing the defense, knowing his formation, and just sort of calling everything off and saying, okay, I'll just kind of doink it out to you. You see what you can do with it.
Face mask, 57, defense. 5-yard only, half the distance to the goal. We'll replay second down.
Holden picks it up, and Gibbons was the guy to catch it. Of course, they're near the goal line.
Hey, here's the doink it out, and it's Sanders again getting the penalty on Gibbons. Right arm, face
Number
mask
50
and pull.
and 93 reporting to an eligible position.
Vrabel
and 93.
Vrabel at tight end, Seymour at fullback. Vrabel of those Super Bowl touchdowns.
It is a second down and goal inside the 1. That's Fourier in motion. Dillon in the backfield. And around the Seymour block, he submarines for a 1-yard touchdown. Corey Dillon's second touchdown today. And Dillon getting his 5th touchdown in the last 2.5 games.
You talk about versatility. Another great example. Here's Richard Seymour. What is this? A 6'6", 300-pound fullback leading in there, not blocking anyone in particular, but just by forming that vacuum behind himself, he makes a big enough hole for Corey Dillon just to follow in there for that touchdown. And this is what New England does. They get into situations and they out-situation you.
Here's the Adam Vinatieri extra point. And creeping in. On that drive, there was a 39-yard penalty, which really was the biggest blow on that 73-yard drive, and a 13-yard pass to Deion Branch. It lasted 10 plays, just under 4 minutes, and Corey Dillon plunging in for his second touchdown of the afternoon. That is Terminal Tower, which at night is spectacular here in downtown Cleveland. 21-0. The Patriots lead, shutting out the Cleveland Browns.
All weekend long, that tower's been red and green.
Right. It's been pretty.
It kind of screams out, shop here.
Yeah, right. Vinatieri, the November AFC Special Teams Player of the Month. Richard Alston from the 5-yard line. Dexter Reed, the tackle at the 23. They love this kid, Reed. That's a 17-yard return. Reed out of North Carolina. A 4th-round pick. Let's see what McCown has up his sleeve. After the New England Patriots scored on a Dillon 1-yard touchdown run, as Joe Andruzzi will check out and into the locker room. We'll get an update on that. The ensuing kickoff takes the Browns to the 23, 1st and 10. Here's Frishman Jackson, a former college quarterback in East Carolina. He's going to throw deep, and he's got Northcutt, who drops it in the coverage by Eugene Wilson at the 20.
He just threw that ball about 55, 60 yards in the air. There's a weapon that Terry Robiskie can think about in the next 4 or 5 weeks. Use a little bit more is that reverse pass, and Northcutt does a nice job, but he has to readjust inside. It's kind of strange. It's going from dark to sun and back into the shade again.
Handoff to Green, and grabbed by Warren and by Henderson, and hit at the 26-yard line, gain of 3. There's Ty Warren, Texas A&M. That's the AFC North.
New England needs to finish ahead of Pittsburgh, or they have to go there if a playoff game would ensue in the AFC Championship game. They're in Pittsburgh right now. The Steelers beat them earlier this year.
5 in the secondary, including Brown. 3rd down and 7. The pass is intercepted on the ricochet by Harrison. Off the fingertips of Antonio Bryant. Harrison has his 2nd interception of the day. Well, that took concentration because that was caught on the carom.
Now, the first one was an amazing catch of a ball that really shouldn't have been thrown. That's an amazing catch of a ball that absolutely should have been caught by Bryant.
We've lost some of our pictures momentarily, so we do apologize. The interception
by Harrison will be challenged by the Cleveland Browns.
And it appeared to us, Randy, as we have seen it on replay, that it was a drop by Harrison. And now we've got our pictures back to you. We apologize for that.
Well, here you're going to see what happened exactly. As you know, Bryant should have caught this, Kevin, and it goes up. Watch Rodney Harrison. Watch the ball right now. Watch it hit the ground. That's not a catch.
Bill Carollo is taking a look in the replay machine and going to make a decision if it was an interception or not by Rodney Harrison.
Well, he's not looking in there because what he's doing is trying to figure out where to spot the ball. Where was the ball at the last possession? Because Rodney Harrison doesn't catch this. Ball never is possessed, then it hits the ground, then he picks it up. That is not a catch. I mean, it looked good. It was good momentum, and from that angle, you couldn't really tell he didn't have it. But that one angle was absolutely perfect. When the ball comes out, you see there's no possession here in the middle. The ball never stops moving, and then it hits the ground.
It was 3rd and 7 at the Cleveland 26.
So I think if you're Cleveland and you're Terry Robiskie, get that punt team ready. Get ready to punt. Because I think they've spotted the ball, and they have to rule that a non-catch.
After reviewing the play, it's been determined that the intercepting player dropped the ball and lost control. Therefore, there's an incomplete pass. It'll be 4th down and 7 yards to go at the hash mark on the Cleveland side, 26-yard line.
That's another solid job by Bill Carollo. They can sort of go +1.
Right, in that tally sheet, yes. So another punt. That was the 5th Cleveland possession, and they are punting for the 3rd time in those 5 possessions. The other one's interception by Harrison, which was earlier in the game, and they lost it on downs the last time before this possession.
I remember what I've been saying about situations, that New England can really get you in situations, and then when they get you there, they beat you in those situations. Here's a situation. Derek Frost needs to hit a good punt, because Troy Brown's back here looking to give Bill Belichick and the Patriots field position on the Browns side of the 50-yard line, and that's a situation you rarely see New England losing.
So here is Frost out of northern Iowa. It's a punt once again. Setting up the return, looking up into that bright Ohio sun is Troy Brown.
It hit him.
And it did. He goes down on the ball at the 42-yard line, and the Patriots think they got it, and the Browns over there pointing to their direction.
That ball hits Randall Gay, I believe, number 21, in the back of the leg. It hits, bounces, and bounces back, and it's Cleveland ball, the first indication coming out of that pile, isn't it, Kevin?
It is going to be New England's ball. New England at the 42-yard line. But there was a scrum for that loose ball.
And Troy Brown screaming right there, get away, get away, get away. And that's 21, Gay. The ball does hit him in the back, but smart play by Troy Brown, diving between the legs of Gay to pick that up.
He is a football player, isn't Troy Brown? They've got a team full of them, but he epitomizes that as much as anyone.
Yeah, I did the preseason in New England the last couple of years, and Bill Belichick was drilled for playing Troy Brown on defense in the preseason. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? You're overusing the guy. Well, this is a guy that thinks situation. It's a staff that thinks situation and knew that down the road, I'm going to need a guy like Troy Brown. Why not have an excellent slot receiver playing slot defender? Besides returning kicks and catching balls and everything else Troy Brown does already.
2 tight ends in there, 42-yard line. It is a first down. And Corey Dillon is in the backfield and with the handoff. Gets by McKinley, got a block downfield from Gibbons, and then finally it's Griffith who brings him down at about the 49-yard line, close to a first down. Next Show Halftime Report is up next. Greg Gumbel, Dan Marino, Shannon Sharp, Boomer Esiason. Latest scores, highlights, and news next. Coming up in the Next Show Halftime Report from New York. At the 48-yard line, it is a first down.
Yeah, we see the Colts run that play with Edgerrin James all the time. That stretch. Stretch right, stretch left, and play action stretch. That was Corey Dillon and the Patriots stretching that defensive right side of Cleveland for that huge run.
Pass is in. 48-yard line. And Dillon again. Look at him dance. And into the secondary, brought down by Lewis Sanders. 43-yard line, gain of 5. He looks so fresh and so light on his feet. And boy, we talked to him last night. He's never been happier.
Boy, and you talk about the situations that a good running game gets you in for New England. And when they've scored today, they've not only scored because Corey Dillon's got in there running, 93-yard kickoff return by Bethel Johnson. And the 12-play and 10-play drives were fueled by the running game of Corey Dillon and the smart precision passing of Tom Brady.
Cedric Combs, a rookie from Arkansas, in the game. Second down, 2. This is Cobbs, and he is belted by Griffith. He is close to a first down at the 37-yard line, a gain of 5 right there. He got the first down.
That's one thing about Robert Griffith. Say what you will about this Cleveland defense, but Robert Griffith will absolutely come up and tattoo you. He did it in Minnesota when he was playing there, and he's doing it on a regular basis here in Minnesota. In Cleveland. That's the kind of fire down the road. You're talking about building for this organization and this defense. Those are the kind of players you want. Griffith so far, 7 tackles in this first half.
2 tight ends, 37-yard line, and Kevin Falk in the game. And grabbed by McKinley and tackled at the 32. Gain of 5.
And the running game is really what fuels this team. We talked about Corey Dillon being the big difference maker, and just look at what they've done. They've done this year with the running game. It's been about rushing attempts and everything else. They're ranked 12th with the run, but I think as a football team, I'm not sure if the run's more important to them than anybody else. Look at that. Rushing attempts, rushing yards, and time of possession. It all ties in to how the Patriots beat you.
Cobbs is in again, 31-yard line, second down and 4. Holstein is in as well, and a tackle by Michael Myers at the 30-yard line. We saw Andruzzi go out earlier. That's a gain of a yard on the play. And Hochstein is in a leg injury for Andruzzi. His return is questionable.
Hey, Hochstein's one of those versatile linemen. As everybody on this team seems to be versatile, he can play either guard or center.
30-yard line, third down and 3. Pass in the backfield. That's Gibbons on the move. A couple tight ends in there for Tom Brady. And knocked away by Lewis Sanders. A pass intended for Gibbons at the 25. Complete pass.
You want to talk about how do you build a winning football team and a winning organization, and the Cleveland Browns are in the process of trying to do that. Well, look across the field at what Bill Belichick's done. The way this team, the balance of this team, the versatility of his roster, the strength of his organization from the owner Bob Kraft down, the way this organization is built and committed to winning, they're in a better example in the NFL than the New England Patriots of how you do it and how you build a balanced football team. Pittsburgh's balanced, New England's balanced, Philadelphia's balanced. There's no mistake and there's no fluke as to why their records are the best in the league.
New England calls their second timeout in this first half. They've got 1 remaining as you take a look at the coach, Bill Belichick. And Vinatieri will set to kick a field goal. He is coming into this afternoon 21 consecutive field goals. Longest current streak in the NFL.
He's my kicker if I ever need something clutch, and it's not much of a statement when you think about a guy that's already won 2 Super Bowls with clutch kicks, but when I think of a have-to-make-it field goal, I think of that field goal against the Raiders in that divisional playoff game that's remembered as the Tuck game, but he basically kicked that thing off a snowdrift, and looks like he won't be kicking this one. 4th and 3, New England's bringing out the offense for nothing more than to try to draw the defense offside, perhaps.
Well, we'll see. They're at the 30. They got to get to the 27. Brady is back out there. The 21-0 lead by the New England Patriots on 2 rushing touchdowns by Corey Dillon. New England took over at the 42 after a Cleveland punt. 4th and 3. Pass in the backfield. Gibbons in motion. Patrick pass. The Holstein block, and they didn't get it. They had Griffith in there and McKinley on the line. And on downs, the New England Patriots will turn it over.
The prevailing wind in here, in case you're wondering, is from the left to the right on your TV screen. So Bill Belichick and the Patriots decide with that win, maybe a little too far for Vinatieri. The offensive line doesn't do the job up front. They don't have Corey Dillon in the game at running back, which is a little bit of a surprise in that situation. And they don't get the first down because Cleveland bows up.
Don Davis in the secondary, along with Troy Brown. 5 back there for the New England Patriots. 1st and 10. And a handoff to Green, who's wiggling his way all over the place, but can't get away from Ty Warren, who couches him at the 26, a loss of 3. We've reached the 2-minute warning. Patriots playing like the defending Super Bowl champions that they are. Timeout. Corey Dillon on the sideline did not carry it on that 4th and 3 play. Patrick Pass did. Is something wrong with Corey?
Well, he's on the sideline just kind of stretching his leg. He's bringing that right leg up towards his waist. He's got some kind of leg injury. You see he's back down to 98 yards. He was over 100 there for a little while.
2nd and 13. It's at the 27-yard line. The Browns have got to get to the 40. Extra defensive action there for the New England Patriots. And here comes Luke McCown. And his tight end shade drops in coverage by Vrabel. Cleveland today, 3 punts and 5 possessions. This is their 6th. 3 dropped Cleveland passes this afternoon.
A couple plays ago, that last Dillon run, watch him hopping and bopping. Lewis Sanders, his helmet goes right into his right upper thigh / hip area. That's the closest thing to a contact that would hinder a guy that size and that kind of speed, and he has to come out right after that. So.
3rd and 13. Freshman Jackson is the 3rd wide receiver. Again to the 40-yard line. They've got to get to for a first down. The Jeff Fain snap. McCown sets up a screen. William Green and brought down by Troy Brown and by Don Davis, but he has a first down. Rumbling his way to the 44, 17-yard pickup on 3rd and 13.
Yeah, I keep talking about situations. Well, Cleveland's in a situation here, end of the half. And this is where New England excels, end of the half, end of the game. So you don't want to take any real big risks or make any big mistakes, and Cleveland really hasn't. They're being a little innovative with their play calling. Nice little screen and excellent execution by the offense. The premium here is not only on your offensive execution, but on your ball maintenance. Because this is where you can get points and a game really slide away from you at the end of a half.
So the Browns, who took over on downs from the New England Patriots at their own 30, are out to their 44. So a bit more breathing space, being shut out 21-0. Cleveland has 2 timeouts remaining. And Jackson becomes the 3rd receiver again at the bottom of your screen. 1st and 10. 5 in the secondary, and Brown remains, and Davis at the safety. McCown, here comes Ty Warren, who's been breathing down his back all afternoon long. Eugene Wilson was covering Antonio Bryant downfield. 2nd down and 10.
Now the pressure on that last play came inside from Warren, but to give you an idea of what they're doing a little bit different, this is Johnny Davis right here, the defensive end. He's been at safety. So he's played a little bit of safety, a little bit of linebacker, now a little bit of rush defensive end. And it goes back to that versatility theme we keep talking about.
2nd down and 10 from the 44. Echimandu is in the backfield out of Cal, and that's a pass incomplete for freshman Jackson. The coverage by Vrabel, and the flag is down across the way, 45-yard line.
It's a little holding on defense.
Prior to the pass, holding, 21, defense, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's the rookie free agent Randall Gay out of LSU.
Yeah, the funny thing is what Nick Saban does, with defensive backs down at LSU, and that Bill Belichick's kind of turned this into LSU North of New England. He loves those players that come out of there, and Gay's a guy, he's starting for the Patriots, and Bill Belichick laughed about it last night. He says, hey, he wasn't good enough to start for Nick at LSU, but he's starting for me here.
49-yard line. It is a 1st down and 10 situation. Northcutt on the move, and William Green in the backfield. Outside for Northcutt. Pushed out of bounds by Troy Brown to the 44. Gain of 7. 2 timeouts remaining for the Browns and 1:25 on the second quarter clock.
And Cleveland doing a very nice job in this situation, managing the game. That goes back to Terry Robiskie and his now offensive coordinator, former tight ends coach Rob Chudzinski.
That's a mouthful.
Well, and also it's a job full.
Yes.
They're sending the signals, and Luke McCown's got to be the one to execute this.
44-yard line, second down and 3. Here comes Seymour. Here comes Davis. There goes McCown, and he has his receiver. That's Antonio Bryant. Shoved out of bounds by Randall Gay. 7-yard gain. First down to the New England 37. Clock at 1:18. Again, the Browns with 2 timeouts.
If during your college career you've passed for over 12,000 yards, but you've rushed for almost 1,000 yards in your college career, it's because you can move, and you know when it's time to bail out to make something happen. That's an excellent example of bailing out and making something happen, and Antonio Bryant knowing where his quarterback was and helping him out.
7th play of the Cleveland drive, which began back at their 30. The big play is 17-yard catch and run by Green, 1st and 10. 37-yard line. Fake to Green. Here comes Vrabel. There goes the McCown pass. He's got Northcutt shoved out of bounds by Eugene Wilson at the 12-yard line. It is a 25-yard pickup. Another Cleveland first down.
I referred to this game earlier as kind of a week 1 of a 5-week audition. You've got to be impressed with this young kid out of Louisiana Tech, Luke McCown, and how he has run this offense, especially in this end-of-the-half situation. I mean, this is the part where most young quarterbacks crack, and right now McCown is thriving.
5 remain in the Patriots secondary. Green in the offensive backfield. 3rd receiver is Jackson. 1st and 10 from the 12. 1:11 to play in the first half. And McCown to the end zone. And over the head of Northcutt. Coverage on the play by Gay of New England.
You know, you talk about this kid, though, at quarterback. You know, should you really be surprised in a pressure situation against the defending world champion that he's kind of cool? He went to Louisiana Tech. They played a lot of homecoming games there. You know, they went to
the other teams.
To Miami, to some big schools, Kansas State and whatnot. And he's used to being in big environments as an underdog with crowds in those cases that weren't really for you.
Will Fork remains on that defensive line. 2nd and 10 from the 12. Green, nice block from Shea. Nice block from Jackson. There goes a flag. As Eugene Wilson knocks him out of bounds at the 5 and 8-yard gain.
Well, that call from that angle's got holding all over it against the offense, specifically the receiver blocking on the defensive back. In this case, it's Frishman Jackson, number 19's out there at wide receiver. He does a come here, spin you around.
Holding, 19, offense.
What?
10-yard penalty, replay, second down.
It's easy. It's called a come here, spin you around. Watch, you're about to see the come here. So he's working there. There's a come here. Now there's a spin you around.
I got you. It's a spot foul, so it's back to the 16.
Working against Gay. He got that little too good a grip on his technique.
2nd down, 14. They got to get inside the 3. Clock at 61 seconds. Cleveland's got 2 timeouts. Shea the tight end in the backfield with Green. Here comes Seymour. The pass incomplete. William Green looked like he got caught in some traffic.
Well, he got caught in Patriots' smart defenders reading a screen pass, and that was an excellent decision by Luke McCown. You know, sometimes you have to know when the best time to fit something in is and when the best time to throw something away is, and he saw the way they read that screen. He just threw that thing into the ground away from William Green.
Count for the game is 9 of 18. 3rd down, 14. 11th play of the drive, starting back at the Cleveland 30. They got it on downs from New England. 3 receivers out there for McCown. And now they come in on him, and he throws to the end zone. Ricocheting caught. Antonio Bryant, a Cleveland Browns touchdown. McCown's first NFL strike.
Hey, it's kind of like a golf score. Nobody ever said it had to be pretty. If it's a birdie, it's a birdie. For Luke McCown, He's not going to remember the fact that it bounced off 3 or 4 people for his first NFL touchdown. He's going to remember that his guy Bryant was the one that came up with it.
And how he came up with it was as spectacular as the pass. There's his wife on the left, his parents there on the right-hand side. Antonio Bryant, acquired in the Quincy Morgan trade with the Dallas Cowboys, grabs his 3rd touchdown as a Brown. The extra point by Phil Dawson. And the shutout for the New England Patriots is gone. And 50 seconds remaining on the second quarter clock.
Try to keep track of this one.
Yeah, it's like football.
McCown puts this one up for Frisman Jackson. There's Troy Brown involved in the play because Jackson was in the slot, knocking that thing up and getting it to Bryant. Hey, when you're trying to find a way in this league, and the Patriots will be the first one to tell you this, it isn't always pretty. But getting it done is getting it done, and that's what the rookie did. End of the half in this situation, he came out with a score.
Now the thing about McCown on that drive, he hit 86 there, Northcutt for a 25-yard gain. He also got his running back on a screen pass, William Green, on a 17-yard catch and run. Then that 16-yard touchdown pass to Antonio Bryant, the all-time leading receiver at the University of Pittsburgh. And we're on the board. The quarterback, a rookie, has a smile on his face in his first NFL start.
It tells you a little something about the mood here in Cleveland, too. You see the kid on the bench smiling. Everybody's smiling. You know, and this isn't a severe knock on Butch Davis, but the atmosphere was so oppressive at the end that the overwhelming mood here with Terry Robiskie taking off over as the interim coach was of such relief and such excitement about what they can possibly accomplish finishing this year out in the last 5 games.
Well said in a nutshell. It's exactly the feeling we got at the Browns facility this weekend. Here's the ensuing kickoff by Phil Dawson. Bethel Johnson beat back a 93-yard kickoff return to open the game for him. Here he is at the 10-yard line, and he is met and brought down. Mason Unk along with Michael Jamison bring him down 27-yard line. We asked Robiskie about the prospect of playing these world champion New England Patriots.
I've always had a theory all my days of playing. When you get out there on Sunday, when they blow the whistle, when you bend down, put your hand in the dirt, just draw a line and come up swinging. And start swinging from the minute 1 and swing through minute 61. Don't stop. That is all said and done.
He's had a lot of NFL experience as both a player and a coach. First and 10 for the New England Patriots with the timeout remaining and 44 seconds on the second quarter clock. Falk in the backfield. Patton is another receiver. And here goes Brady. Lacing a pass to the wing. It was not caught. Trapped by Gibbons. Coverage by Lewis Sanders. It'll be second down and 10. The next till halftime is being put together for you right now at our studios in New York. And Greg Gumbel's there with Marino, Sharp, and Asias in a good quartet. That's coming up next from New York, the next till halftime report.
Hey, here's the next situational test for the Cleveland Browns. And that's another end of the half situation. But now it's for the defense, trying to stop an offense that has made a living the last 3 or 4 years at doing something and putting points on the board at the end of a half.
Little is a 5th defensive back, second down and 10. Patton remained as a 3rd receiver. Look at the time for Brady underneath for Falk, and he is grabbed and brought down by Warwick Holdman, the ex-Chicago Bear. The clock continues to tick. It's a gain of 4, and New England, with a timeout, will let it stand because Cleveland has burned their second timeout. We're 28 seconds to play in the second quarter.
Here's a nice job by Terry Robiskie of using that last timeout. So they're setting up 3rd and medium, longish, 6 or 7 yards. And if they don't get this first down, New England, Terry Robiskie will use his last timeout, make them punt, and then get the ball back, hopefully in some pretty good field position with some time left on this clock.
So New England got the kickoff and took it to their 27. This came after Cleveland got a 16-yard touchdown pass from the rookie quarterback McCown to Antonio Bryant. Now 4 receivers in the slot. They've got Graham, the tight end. 3rd and 6. Falk in the backfield. Little in the secondary. And they've got to get to the 37. This is Kevin Falk, who is grabbed by Alvin McKinley, and he's out to the 40. He's got a first down and a run up the middle of 9. Timeout. And this is New England burning their final time out of the half.
Now you're getting a little bit of strategy here between the two head coaches. First, one guy's trying to set up his offense after a punt, and now you got Bill Belichick on the other side saying, okay, I got my first down. Vinatieri, we already saw that the ball was about the 30-yard line, setting up a 47-yard field goal. I think you need to be talking somewhere around 27-yard line, right about in there, 27, 28-yard line to get Adam Vinatieri in his position to kick a field goal.
You know, you've mentioned this throughout the game, and especially here late in the first half, but it bears repeating that the New England Patriots have scored 7 times inside 2 minutes of the first half, and so you've always said into quarters, into halves, that's when New England can really stick it to you.
Well, it's a mark of a good team, a good balanced team, and a strong, organization-based team. In situations, you excel, and that's what New England does. They excel in situations.
40-yard line, it is a 1st and 10 for Tom Brady, who's got his tight end Graham in motion. Look at the time. Holstein with a nice block. And Brady throws, and it's caught by Gibbons in front of Sanders. It is a first down, a gain of 16. He's to the 44 of the Cleveland Browns.
And 9 seconds to go on the clock. So that's going to leave you time for one more play out to the outside. Remember, you're still sitting on a timeout if you're New England.
44-yard line. 1st and 10. Clock at 9 seconds.
Okay, no timeouts for New England. This has got to be on the outside.
Brady got a block from Dorn, intercepted on the play. That's Lewis Sanders, who brings it out near midfield. That takes us to a second remaining on the second quarter clock. It is the second turnover by New England. A fumble earlier by Corey Dillon. This pickoff by Lewis Sanders.
And he also is thinking the same thing. There's much time left, no timeouts. They got to throw outside. Excellent job of Lewis Sanders using his football brain. One side of your brain is kind of a life brain, and the other side of your brain is a football brain. And Lewis Sanders knows his situation, knows where his defense is, and knows what the quarterback has to do. We're talking about some deep defense down by the goal line for the Patriots. Christian Fourier, the tight end, is all the way in the end zone. There's trips to the bottom of the screen, and Fourier is all the way in the end zone behind him.
Sanders has his 3rd career interception. He was starting today for Dalen McCutcheon. A timeout, the final one burned by the Cleveland Browns. There's Sanders, who left camp and went to the Jacksonville Jaguars. He left this Cleveland camp, went to Jacksonville. He was cut at the end of their training period in August, and he was re-signed by the Cleveland Browns. So they brought him back in. He's 5 years out of Maryland, and he comes up with a big play in a starting role this afternoon.
Now here's something that football teams do from the first day of training camp. It's the end of the game, end of the half, the whatever you want to call it, Hail Mary, Big Ben. So you put your trips receivers to one end of the field, and you just chunk it down there. You want somebody to bat it up in the air to give the rest of your guys a chance to get the ball. Now, from the defensive standpoint, Bill Belichick's deploying 8 people now back near the end zone, and their job when the ball gets there, you'll see them doing nothing but trying to knock it down.
Here comes Luke McCown, who will wind up and show us this young, fresh arm who laces it into the end zone, and it is batted down incomplete. Looked like Christian Fourier was back there batting it down. They've got tight ends playing in the secondary. I mean, it's just so great to see how they put this team together, all these football players for the New England Patriots.
Versatility.
Yep.
And coaching. A well-coached football team and a strong organization. There's no coincidence this team has won 2 of the last 3 Super Bowls, because in these situations, that's what they're coached to do. Knock the ball down. Don't try to catch it. Don't do anything dumb.
Dillon's got a couple of touchdown runs. A kickoff return of Bethel Johnson, 93 yards to begin the game. 21-7 halftime Patriots. 21-7, the New England Patriots, the defending champions, on top of Cleveland. And when you talk about the Cleveland Browns, the legendary name of Jim Brown comes to mind. It's so good to have you here.
Well, it's good to be here.
Kind of in a weird week, too, with the coaching change. What's your view of how things stand right now with this organization?
Well, actually, it's a very clean organization right now. Butch is gone. He's still a friend with Randy. The players feel energetic. We're looking forward to getting a general manager, getting a new coach. So everything is in Randy's hand right now, and I think that is the way that he wanted it.
Randy Lerner, the owner, yes.
And his dad, Al Lerner, and Randy were always so intent on involving the tradition of this game. It's got to be refreshing to you to see, they want to welcome back the Cleveland Browns to the Cleveland Browns organization.
Absolutely, because the whole family has always been a part of the Browns. Most people don't know that Al was a minority owner when Art was here, and I used to know Randy when he was a little boy. So they want to bring it back to the fans. They love the fans of Cleveland. They have a lot of money. They're a very powerful family, but their desire is to bring a strong, honest organization with character. Great football for the fans. That's what Randy always says.
What have you thought of what you've seen so far today? I mean, how about adding this guy to
Well, that poor guy. What I saw today was a great organization. New England, Bill Belichick is one of my best friends. Robert Kraft is a quality guy. They've built a team. And we have to marvel at the perfection, the research, the kind of organization. And so you can't say anything except they did a great job the first half.
Jim, I'm so glad you stopped by. We had a chance to see him yesterday, Randy, and it was a thrill. The first time I had ever met Jim Brown, and you just epitomized all the great things in the history of the NFL. And glad you stopped by to say hello.
Thanks, guys, for having me. Thank you, Randy.
Great to see you.
Good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
The great Jim Brown.
Right.
Thank you so much. A former CBS commentator, by the way,
right.
too. Yeah, years ago. And boy, still sounding great. And there's a look at some of our halftime numbers. As a 22-yard return by Richard Alston, a Banta Kane tackle from the 39-yard line. Luke McCown, 1st and 10, handoff to William Green. There was a block by Verba, and then a tackle by Seymour, a gain of a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. And let's take a look, Randy, at the fantasy notebook.
Yeah, and if you're worried about your fantasy numbers, McCown, nice job. Brady, what you'd expect except for the interception. But big question to me, numbers-wise in these fantasy numbers, is Corey Dillon. He's got 98. He's got 2 touchdowns. But what's the status of that leg? What's the status of his health, not only for the rest of this half, but how does that affect them moving forward?
And now Keith Traylor is slow to get up on that defensive line. And they've brought in the rookie Vince Wilfork, who will take his place. But the ex-Chicago Bear at 35 years of age and the tough time getting up, so we've got an injury timeout in Cleveland. Keith Traylor was helped off the field, but walked off with more regularity as he approached the sideline. He looks fit. He'll probably check in here in just a second. 2nd down and 9.
If he looks anything, it's mad.
A couple tight ends from McCown. He throws to Antonio Bryant, who is tackled by Harrison, 47-yard line. Bryant is the one who caught the touchdown pass before halftime, an 8-yard pickup.
And back to Keith Traylor. Here's what happens. Here's Damian Cook. Watch him come inside on the leg of Keith Traylor. Feign, the center, still engaged. That, my friend, is the combination of the definition of a chop block. Player is still engaged, and you chop down on that leg. It's been illegal for quite some time.
3rd down and 2. William Green, and fumble on the play. Seymour knocked it away, and it is picked up by Gay, who weaves his way downfield. The quarterback can't get him, I don't think, and he's in for a Patriot touchdown. A 41-yard vacuum of the fumble and return by Gay, his first NFL touchdown.
And it was all set up by wonderful penetration up front by the New England defense. You look at the onside of that play right there. That right arm comes in there. I think it might have been 93. Richard Seymour got it out of there. You see McGinnis actually pulls Gay in the back of the jersey? I think Gay would have scored going straight ahead if Woolley would have let him go. What, do you wants to make the rookie run further? Was this hazing?
This defense scored 6 defensive touchdowns last season. That was a good one right there. They had one last week against Baltimore. And the extra point by Vinatieri is up and in. And the world champs up 28-7.
That ball comes out. Gay gets it. Willie McGinnis goes, whoa, rookie. Whoa, rookie.
Here's the rookie free agent Randall Gay, and he got some escort help from Willie McGinnis, I think.
Help? Help, he got a little redirection from the veteran linebacker. I think McGinnis enjoyed that touchdown more than Gay did. Yeah. He was having more fun on the sideline.
Here's the kickoff by Vinatieri. 6-yard line retrieved. Richard Alston. And then he is shoved out of bounds across the way by Earthwind Moreland. A 29-yard return.
Now here's Seymour. There's McGinnis. They're the key figures early. And why do you say McGinnis, too? I mean, here's Seymour causes the fumble. Gay picks it up. See? Helping that rookie out. No. Don't run 30 yards straight ahead. Go 50 across the field and 30 down. I'd rather you run 80 than 30 straight ahead.
You are a rookie.
See, look at that. That's the definition of holding, unless you're doing it to your guy.
Don Davis is in the secondary for the Patriots. A 1st and 10 from the 36 for rookie Luke McCown. And the handoff to Echimandu. Adam Shinobi Echimandu from Lagos, Nigeria. That is his first carry of his career.
Kevin, you talk about balance, and I've talked about it several times in the first half, but you're seeing a balanced performance, and this is my definition of balance. When you score in every facet of the game, you've got a special teams touchdown, a defensive touchdown, you have 2 rushing touchdowns, and your quarterback's the Super Bowl MVP 2 times, and he hasn't thrown a touchdown yet.
Trailer is back in the game. 37-yard line, 2nd down and 9 for McCown, hit by Wilfork, and it's incomplete. They had 2 receivers over there, the fullback Smith, the tight end Hayden. It's incomplete. 3rd and a long 9.
That was close to being a strip by Wilfork. Wilfork just barely gets there in time. McCown gets that ball off. He gets there another microsecond earlier, you can strip that ball out of there. It can't go forward.
Frisman Jackson is the 3rd wide receiver. Troy Brown is a extra defensive back. 3rd down, long 9. They got to get to the 46-yard line. Chimandu is in the backfield. Now here comes Seymour, who throws McCown off balance, incomplete, and they got a punt in their second half possession.
See, as good as the last possession in the first half was, the first possession of the second half is just as poor from a standpoint of establishing a little bit of rhythm, of really giving yourself a little confidence coming out in the second half. New England comes out and asserts itself rush-wise, coverage-wise, confuses the rookie, and pressures the rookie.
So they have fumbled and they will punt in their 2 second-half possessions. And here's Frost and Troy Brown circling under it at about the 26. Gary Gardner brings him down. Plays middle linebacker at the 26-yard line. A 1-yard return, a 37-yard punt. All New England, 28-7, 12:21 third. Fumble recovery for a touchdown, a kickoff return for a touchdown, 2 Corey Dillon touchdown runs, 28-7 New England. Cleveland just punted, 27-yard line, 1st and 10 for Tom Brady, operating with 2 tights. Kevin Falk in the backfield and his 2 wides. This is Kevin Falk, a good block by Fourier, run out of bounds by Crocker. And the gain is up to the 47, a 20-yard gallop by Kevin Falk. Time now for NFL.com. Which NFL team has been the biggest surprise this season? Cast your vote at NFL.com.
There's my vote.
Very good. How'd you do that so fast?
But I think San Diego by far. Anybody that says they thought San Diego would be in this position is flat out lying to you.
Cedric Cobbs in the backfield with pass. 47-yard line, 1st and 10. Cedric Cobbs. And Andruzzi is back in the game. Andruzzi, now got some shoving after the play between Pass and Gardner, but Andruzzi is back in there, and that is a good sign. Hochstein took his place late in the first half. That was a 6-yard gain to the 47-yard line of Cleveland.
Yeah, blue collar is the best definition of how you describe this offensive line for New England, and that's the most blue collar guy of a blue collar line in Joe Andruzzi. He is just flat out tough.
4 in the secondary. It is a 2nd down and 4, and Brady to Cobbs, a block by Neal, and here comes the rush of Orpheus Roy and Bernard Lang. Loss of 5, and he is back to about the 48. Orpheus Roy, the ex-Pittsburgh Steeler.
And when this defense plays well, it's because the guys up front control the line of scrimmage. And it's not from a matter of lack of ability that it doesn't happen. I think it's a lack of focus and a lack of just want to. You know, it's a talented group up front, and when they want to do it, they can do it against anybody.
There'll be 5 receivers: Gibbons, Brown, Branch, Patton, and Bethel Johnson in for his first offensive play. 47-yard line, 3rd and 9. They got to get to the Cleveland 43. 6 in the secondary. Earl Little is one of them. Brady throws, and it is caught. David Patton. Tackle made by Sanders. 39-yard line. First down. They gain 13 on 3rd and 9.
It's funny, almost a replay of that pass thrown at the end of the first half. Just an out to Patton. Different situation, and Sanders is just a little bit further off, not being able to play that guessing game like he could when he intercepted the ball earlier. Patriots began this drive at their 27 after a Cleveland punt. From the 39, 1st and 10, Cedric Cobbs breaks free. There's a penalty flag thrown. The tackle is made in the secondary by Sean Thompson. He broke a tackle of Warwick Holdman. There's a gain of 8. That's against 31. This is against the Patriots. It's either a hold or maybe even a block in the back.
Illegal block in the back. 87. Offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay, first down.
Yeah, there's things that kind of flash out in front of you. That's one of those things that kind of flash out. When you see guys move in unnatural positions, it's usually because an offensive player does something a little different. Center your screen right there. Givens, 87, hitting Robert Griffith right in the back. I mean, that's in front of God and country. It's not like one of those guys in the striped shirt's not going to see it. Rashad Carter is an extra defensive back, 1st and 20. And here comes Brady, and he throws underneath where it's caught by Daniel Graham. Slips by Sean Thompson. Cracked out of bounds by Crocker. At about the 32, 14-yard gain to New York and Craig Gumbel.
All right, Kevin, all kinds of things happening in Baltimore. Carson Palmer going to get picked off here by Ed Reed. Reed starts the return, and he'll cough it up. Fortunately, Chris McAllister, his teammate, is there to pick it up, and he takes it 64 yards for the touchdown. However, Palmer came right back with a touchdown pass to Chad Johnson. It's a 20-10 game. Kevin and Randy.
Reed, his 7th interception. That's number 1 in the National Football League. And that is the 6th defensive touchdown by Baltimore this year. Here's Cedric Cobbs on 2nd down. And he gained 6. And on the play brought down by McKinley, and he's to the 29-yard line. Close to a first down. Next Sunday, the playoff shakedown continues when the Raiders get after the first-place Falcons. The Colts will tangle with the Texans, and many of you will see the Jets take on the Steelers. Check the game for the local listing in your time area around the country here on CBS.
So we're going to be in Atlanta to see Michael Vick and that football team take on the Raiders. And I'll give you a hint. If you want to see one of the better teams in the league, tune into that game next week. Atlanta has stayed below the radar a lot longer than normal, but with Philadelphia playing so well and Pittsburgh playing so well, New England playing so well, the attention hasn't been on them.
Terry Robiskie took over for Butch Davis, and that is not Butch Davis, as Atlanta is at 9-2 in the NFC South.
Hey, what a mess the NFC is.
That was supposedly going to be one of the best divisions in football coming into this season.
Yeah, but that tells you something about what the NFC is like. I mean, Terry Robiskie is an interim coach here in Cleveland. In the AFC, it's much more well-defined. In the NFC, it's two good teams and a bunch of blech. And the unfortunate thing is 4 of the blechs are going to make the playoffs.
By the way, Tampa Bay is shutting out Atlanta 20-0. Pat McGrath, our statistician, just informed me of that. 3rd and inches. Cobb's in the backfield. Seymour is back there as a lead blocker. So there are 2 tight ends. They're at the 29. Gibbons is in motion. Seymour lead block. Cobbs will try to pick and poke his way for the first down. Looks to have grabbed it. Tackle made by Earl Little. First down run down to the 27-yard line. They'll move the chains again. Here are the good teams in the NFC.
Here are the good teams. That is a hot team. Now look at the rest of them for the wild card. Yeah, Minnesota's kind of 7-4 going in a different direction. So is St. Louis. I mean, and on the right side is that cluster of bluff.
1st and 10. 27-yard line to take the Cons. Outside to pass. Good block by Gibbons. Tackled by Crockett. And by Barry Gardner. 16-yard. How many times have we mentioned a block by wide receiver David Gibbons this afternoon?
Yeah, guys like Gibbons and Patrick Pass are people that define this versatility of this football team. Patrick Pass was a guy that barely played at Georgia. Played a little bit and then got sort of, overlooked because of Edwards and all the fine running backs coming out of there. But Bill Belichick made a comment last night, said he'll probably play 10 years of this league because he is so versatile.
Kevin Falk in the backfield. 1st and goal from the 10. This is Falk. Bouncing off of Graham, cutting inside and slashing for a New England touchdown. Their 3rd rushing touchdown today. That was a 10-yard run.
There's another running back out of that Louisiana area by the name of Mewelde Moore up in Minnesota. Bill Belichick this offseason had dinner with Mewelde Moore before the draft and whatnot to check the kid out. He says, I thought I was looking at Kevin Falk. He's built like him. He looks like him. He's got those instincts. He's run. He's got that speed. And Kevin Falk is just another weapon. I mean, if this team was a Swiss Army knife, how many different attachments it would have?
A lot. Here's the extra point by Vinatieri. On that drive, Brady hits Patton for 13, Graham for 14, and Patrick Pass for 17. And capped by that 10-yard touchdown run by Kevin Falk, his first of the year. We want Ditka. As a commentator or what?
What time warp do you live in?
Yeah. Mike would love this, Joe. This is his kind of city, man.
Oh, yeah.
This is his kind of city.
Well, they're going to have a winning team.
After the 3rd rushing touchdown by the Patriots today, the kickoff will drive Alston into the end zone. Touchback. He'll leave it there out to the 20. Kevin Falk, his first touchdown of the year. 35-7, the world champs. In the second half, New England has scored on a fumble recovery touchdown by the rookie Gay, and Falk had a 10-yard touchdown run moments ago. Patriots kicked off with the Vinatieri boot to the end zone, touchback to the 21st and 10. 4-3-4 New England defense. 4 in that defensive line right now. McCown, the rookie, throws to Hyden, who was hit by Harrison and grabbed by Reed. The lost ball. New England saying they've got it.
They do have it.
And Gay is up and running and brought down at the 31-yard line.
That's a fumble. There was never an indication of pointing to the ground. Never heard a whistle.
And they're discussing it right now. It was very confusing. Looked like Dexter Reed is the one to rip it out.
At number 18, the line judge there is Byron Boston.
That last name rings a bell. His son plays in the NFL with Miami. David Boston, a receiver who's injured.
Now, in this conference, they have to determine Was his forward motion stopped?
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by New England and down by contact when he recovered the ball. New England's ball.
And look where New England will start it with a 1st and 10, about the 31, 32-yard line, you think.
Here comes Dexter Reed, 42 on Hayden. Rips that thing out. That's an excellent play from the backside. And I tell you, not only is that good instincts, but that is good coaching. That is taught by Eric Bangini, the defensive back coach. First guy stands him up. Second guy rips it out. Third guy, Eugene Wilson, your job is to recover it.
And then I think Wilson may have lost. Then once Gay picked it up, and then he began to run with the ball.
Well, it was the down by contact part was Eugene Wilson.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Wilson gets it. And 33-yard line. This is the best beginning field position today for the New England Patriots. Corey Dillon back in the game with the bad leg. He's to the 30-yard line and a gain of a couple, and Gerard Warren grabs him after a gain of 2.
Obviously these fans in Cleveland are very disappointed, Kevin, in what they've seen from their Browns, not only today, but in the last couple of years. But I had a chance to sit down with Randy Lerner and John Collins, the executive vice president here, and they've got a consultant, John Beek. John was with the NFL offense, and now he used to be with Denver. And they've got the right plan. They've got the right idea of how they're going to put this thing back together, starting with a gentleman in the form of a general manager, football-wise, to run this organization.
Falk is back in for Dillon. It is a 2nd down and 8. Good tackle by Anthony Henry, and a flag is down as he worked to the 28-yard line and a gain of 2.
He got a lot of late chop blocks by the offensive lines on both sides, cut blocks, I should say, and the backside of these plays. I think it's going to be against Neal, diving into the back of the legs.
Any retaliation for what they did to Traylor earlier in the game?
They both do it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's retaliation. I think it's technique.
Personal foul, clipping, 61, offense, 15-yard penalty, and then the run, replay, 2nd down.
Stephen Neal, right guard.
Neal's at the right guard, and Alvin McKinley, number 97, is sitting at the defensive tackle. There's Neal, there's McKinley. Watch him run away. Towards the end of the play here, watch him run away. And then he's going to dive and try to cut him. That's a clip in the back. That not only is going to be a penalty, it's also going to be a little thank you note from the NFL, as in thank you for your donation to our charitable fund.
2nd down, 22, and the Patriots have got to get to the 23. Bethel Johnson is another receiver. Falk is in the backfield. Brady winds and goes deep down the side and looks for Gibbons, who is covered by Sanders, and Little came over there to assist as well. 3rd and 22. Sanders has an interception today. Off Brady.
It tells you something about the nature of this football team in New England and how it's built. When a guy like Brady can be as quiet as he is, and you can have a 35-7 lead.
Yeah.
Here's a guy who's 2-time MVP of the Super Bowl, and you barely even know he's into the game. He's 10 of 15, not terrible numbers, but the highlight of the game going in here against Cleveland has been special teams and defense making big plays and the running game.
Gibbons, Brown, Branch, Patton, and Johnson, the receivers. 3rd and 22. They got to get to the 23, and Brady winds deep. He's got Patton, and caught for a touchdown as he torches Sanders. Brady's first touchdown pass today, a 44-yard strike. And the Patriots cash in on the Cleveland fumble.
On the play before, Brady threw the ball, and he threw it more towards the receiver instead of over and away from the receiver so he could go run for it. On that last one, Brady just threw the ball in the perfect position where only his guy, David Patton, could get after it.
Patton has his 6th touchdown reception. Came in with 5, so that is his 6th of the year. And Brady, in his 58th consecutive start, throws his 19th touchdown pass of the season.
Couldn't they score in any other way besides a field goal?
On the ground, through the air, offense, defense, special teams. Vinatieri's extra point is good.
And in a way, it's a lesson for Terry Robiskie and Randy Lerner upstairs, the owner. This is the kind of team you want to build. Just look where this ball is placed. Brady just cranking this thing up. Puts it in the perfect position for Patton to get it. And remember, the play before had been thrown closer to the defender. Then he throws the next one over the right shoulder of his wide receiver, and he knew from the time he threw it, it was going to be 6.
Good-looking throw by Brady and David Patton, who spent the 2000 season with the Cleveland Browns and had 10 starts for this franchise. Makes the grab. And again, the fumble by the Browns, and the Patriots cash in.
Well, this defense for Cleveland's given up 100 points now in the last 2 weeks.
48 last week, and you're right. Good math.
58, actually.
58, that's right. They scored 42.
Yeah. I can, I'm no Jethro Bodine. I'll cipher on it.
You're pretty good on that.
I carried a couple odds, and I had a 1. That leads to 100.
Double ought.
It was a 1 double ought once I got done.
Well, there may not be more than, 30,000 people left in this stadium now? It is, I don't even think it's half full.
Well, I made the comment earlier, this will be a winning team in fairly short order. They were going to do this the right way.
Alston from the 12-yard line for the Cleveland Browns. And hit and brought down by Larry Izzo, the 2-time Pro Bowler and special teams player. This is the 4th second-half possession for Cleveland. 2 fumbles and a punt is what they've done so far this half. 35-yard line, 1st and 10 for Luke McCown. Gets away from Wilford. Here they come, and he throws downfield and through the hands of Antonio Bryant, who was drilled by Harrison and Gay at the 35.
And he was drilled by Harrison, and that's why the flag came down. You know, Rodney knows if it's marginal or even close to being a little bit of an edgy hit, he's not only going to get a flag, he might get himself a thank you note.
Right. He's out there arguing. If that were the NBA, they would slap a T on him.
Well, he's the most fined player in NFL history as far as fines go, money-wise.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 37. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Of course, that's not counting guys that have to miss games because they violate different statutes within this league, but you got Gay, and who gets the worst of it? I think you still have to say, Gay kind of gets it through Bryant, but Bryant still caught a pretty good shot. And it's the helmet-to-helmet is the way the official from the back saw Harrison going into the helmet of Bryant.
Adam Chinobi at Chimandu is in the game, the rookie from Cal. He's in the backfield from the 50-yard line, 1st and 10. McCloud and downfield as McCown was looking for his tight end Hayden, who was covered by safety Don Davis. 2nd down and 10 from the 50.
Well, why does New England want home field advantage? Well, you forgot about this? The old Tuck game there. We were there last year for the Miami New England game in the snow and the cold. And I tell you, when it gets cold and the weather gets bad, this team gets about 2 steps above good.
Reed is the extra defensive back, 2nd down 10 from the 50. It's Frisman Jackson, the 3rd wide receiver from McCown. And he'll toss it, which is caught by Chimandu, who's grabbed by Mike Vrabel. He's down to the 44-yard line and picks up 6 yards on the play. Gay started, and he's taken the place of Tyrone Poole at that corner. He appears to be just kind of getting the stars knocked free. And
the next DB on the list, I think, might be David Patton on that wide receiver side.
You're right.
We can't afford to keep losing those guys.
Win Moreland is taking his place right now.
Well, you figure on the inactive list, Asante Samuel, Ty Law, and Tyrone Poole, 3 corners.
3rd and 4. Chimandu makes the grab, but then he is caught himself by Vrabel and by Brewski at the 44. No gain for the Cleveland Browns. 4th and 4. And these are the injured players.
Injured corners.
Corners, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and it's been a nightmare from that standpoint of losing players to injury, but it's also been a highlight for New England in that it's tested the versatility, it's tested the coaching, And they've come through that test with flying colors.
Troy Brown is in there, 6 in the secondary for the New England Patriots, 44-yard line, 4th and 4 for McCown. Here comes the rush by Ty Warren. It's caught by Antonio Bryant, drilled on the chalk by Harrison. He's got a first down. He picks up 9. He's to the 35-yard line. A flag is down on the near side. In fact, one is on the far as well. 2 on the field. Terry Robiskie replacing Butch Davis, and Robiskie tells us that he was interim for Washington in the 2000 season.
Offside defense, right defensive tackle. That penalty is declined. Result of the play, first down.
And when he had that first stint as an interim coach, he said, I tried to be offensive coordinator and head coach. He said, this time, I've given the offensive coordinator job, as you said, many times during this game, to someone else. I'm going to be the head coach alone. 3 wide receivers for the Browns, 35-yard line of the Pats. It is a first down. Gay is back in, bottom of your screen at the corner. And look at Brewski. He was a missile coming right through. That is the first sack by New England today. Brewski with incredible quickness. And they'll spot the ball back at the 43-yard line.
There's Ted Brewski. Watch him. He does everything but what a good bulldogger should do is you get out the rope, you tie up the limbs, and you raise your hands and go, okay, time.
That is something.
You know, McCown's from Jacksonville, Texas, a little bit south of Tyler, which he says is a little bit further south of Dallas.
That's right.
those are Texas directions.
Yeah. Second down and 18. They've got to get to the 25. 6 in the secondary, including Brown and Davis for the New England Patriots. And here comes Vrabel, who makes the sack on McCown. Vrabel with his 4th sack of the season, his first sack in 7 weeks, a loss of 15 back to the 42.
Vrabel coming from the right side of your screen. Actually, you know, not a bad job being done right there by the right tackle. Joaquin Gonzalez pushing his man up the field, but the rookie McCown runs right into that sack.
Look at that, 36, good for second in the NFL. Coming in, 3rd and 33, and again they got to get to the 25 of New England. McCown winds and throws, caught by Antonio Bryant, grabbed from behind by Vrabel, who just made the sack on the previous play. They get a big chunky yard to the 31. It's a gain of 26. And we're at the 2:45 mark, clock ticking down here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, it's 4th and what, 7?
4th and 7.
Well, good. I mean, so Cleveland's in 4 down range for the next 4.5 weeks.
Right.
You know,
certainly for the remainder of this game.
They're in a position where they have nothing to lose, and it's just an audition. Let's see what these kids can do.
4th and 7 to go. And here comes McCown. Echimandu is a running back for him. Here comes the rush by Vrabel and McGinnis, and he throws down the side. Chrisman Jackson comes back to the ball. Flag is down. Catch at the 12. Then he spun himself out of bounds on a 20-yard pickup.
You've got a holding call.
Yep. It's on.
I think it's against New England.
Rodney Harrison.
That's going to be against somebody, but Harrison doesn't like it.
No.
He's protesting the loudest, which is usually a pretty good indication of guilt.
He is such an intense player. The one benefit of this job that Randy and I have is we talk to all the teams and a lot of the big-name players. And I think I can speak for the both of us. We have never run across a team that was more unified, more focused, more professional than New England.
83, offense, 10-yard penalty, replay, 4th down.
How about that? That was on the tight end Aaron Shea out of Michigan. And wouldn't you agree, Randy? We talk to everybody, coaches and everybody.
Yeah,
I think it begins with the owner, Robert Kraft. I mean, he's given this franchise such a great start when he took over the ownership, and then, you know, just continued that in virtually every facet of the day-to-day operation of the organization.
Well, I make the analogy when asked quite often, but this New England organization and football team is the 21st century version of what I played with in San Francisco.
If anybody can appreciate it, it's you. You're
They
right.
are the state of the art in the NFL, and they are right now well ahead of most everybody else.
4th and 17 again to the 25 for a first. Here comes the rush from McGinnis and also Tyborn, and they devour the young rookie quarterback back at the 45, a loss of 13, and so they take over on downs. It was 4th and 17. That was the third sack on this drive.
We talked about how do you score if you're the New England balanced Patriots. Well, try a little bit of everything. First you have a couple rushing touchdowns, then you have a passing touchdown. You've got Gay scoring for the defense, and you have Bethel Johnson opening up the team effort, scoring on a kickoff.
Now you're going to go to your second string quarterback, third year LSU 6'2 quarterback Rohan Davey, who has not thrown a pass this season. So he is at the 45 of Cleveland. On downs, the Browns turn it over. Cobbs is in the backfield, and he gets the call. Slipped by Lang and hit by Holdman and Griffith, and he corkscrews his way to the 42, picking up 3.
You know, and obviously now Tom Brady is done for the day, and you know, here's a guy that if you have to choose a quarterback, and I understand Peyton Manning's having a great year, but there is not a better quarterback. And my definition of quarterback, the complete package, is winning the big games, being big in the big games, being a clutch type of a player. I don't think there's a better one in the league.
Holstein is in for Andruzzi again at left guard. We'll try to get an update on that. Andruzzi was knocked out, came back, and is out again. Second down, 7, 42-yard line. It looks like a busted play, and there's Davey. There is no slouch at the quarterback position, losing 2 right there. Nor at the dinner table, 6'2", 245. I mean, he is a big quarterback. Not as big as Culpepper or Steve McNair, but he's big nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Brady there's his day. Pretty unimpressive. You know, touchdown, interception, just above 50%. But if I had to choose one quarterback, who do you want in this league? That's the guy I want right there.
I would agree with you.
Because life as in football isn't about stats.
3rd and 9 at the 44. They've got to get to the 35. Bethel Johnson is the third receiver. Here's Davies' first pass of the season. And caught by Johnson. Was he in bounds? Yes. He was in the air. They knocked him out. Johnson makes the grab, a 20-yard pickup. That's only the 8th reception he's had this season as Tom Brady cheers on Rohan Davey, who completes his first pass of the year.
Rohan Davey, yet another player out of the Nick Saban system down there at LSU. He has got a cannon. You see that arm, just steps into it and whips this thing right over the safety and into the arms of Bethel Johnson.
As they work on Earl Little. So Johnson remains. Patrick Pass is the fullback. Cedric Cobbs in the backfield. The 24-yard line, make it the 23, where it's a 1st and 10. And that should take us, it does, to the end of the third quarter.
Delay, offense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Let's see if they get this off. It's 1st and 15. They're going to let it go. That's what I thought they would do, and so we'll take it to the fourth quarter. New England has scored 3 times on the ground, once through the air, once on special teams, once on defense. A commanding 42-7 New England Patriot lead as we go to the fourth quarter in Cleveland, watching the NFL on CBS. Patriots have won 4 straight. They're 10-1. They're circling over their 11th win of the season right now.
And that score by quarters from today pretty much typifies what New England has done on the season. Get off well in the first and third quarters.
First play, fourth quarter, 1st and 15. Cedric Cobbs takes it in the middle, and he is brought down by Michael Myers, the ex-Cowboy. Gain of 2 to the 27-yard line. Bill Belichick coming back to where he coached in the early 90s, from 91 to 95.
And really, the story isn't so much his record here or anything else as far as his experience here. His experience here was training for what he's built in New England. It's more the people that he had around him here when he was at Cleveland.
2nd and 13, they got to get to the 14. Two tight ends for Rohan Davies, Cedric Cobbs in the backfield. 4-3-4 defense for Cleveland. And Davies, chased by Rodgers, deflected and incomplete. They were going for Daniel Graham, who was covered by Little and by Griffith at the 15.
Here's an example of what I was talking about as far as the people around Bill Belichick here in Cleveland. Well, you go down that list, and you tell me brain power in coaching was an issue.
Look at some of those names. Jim Schwartz is the defensive coordinator of the Titans. You see Nick Saban and Pat Hill at Fresno State.
It doesn't even include McDonough, who's the assistant general manager down at Jacksonville, Terry McDonough. He's not even on that list.
13 from the 27. Cobbs. And Sean Johnson, Warwick Coleman, along with Michael Jameson, all have a beat on him, bring him down.
But having those kind of people, it's not like they've never been in Cleveland. So that's what Randy Lerner and John Collins' mission has to be here in Cleveland. They have to rebuild a list like that of people. Okay? And that's the kind of organization they should have here in Cleveland. And I made a comment about this being an audition. You know, this is not an audition for a job for next year, and this is not an audition for anything else other than, do you want to be part of what's going to be pretty special here in Cleveland?
Bethel Johnson, Joel Brown, Patton are the receivers. It is 4th and 13. Here comes Davies. Slings a shot, which is caught, and about the 10 by David Patton. It's a 17-yard pickup on 4th and 13, and it's 1st and goal for the New England Patriots. What a throw.
You ever play a video game? You can see those like laser passes in a video game you can throw. That's a laser pass inside of Griffith, outside of Sanders, and perfectly into the proverbial breadbasket of Mr. Patton.
There are 3 tight ends. The lone receiver is Bethel Johnson. 1st and goal at the 10. Rohan Davies with the handoff, and it goes to Cobbs, who spins his way to the 6 and picks up 4. We got the crowd beneath us, and they are restless. They are very, very restless.
Their dress got her restless too.
They got to put the security people up here in the booth. It is a little scary.
Oh, be nice, be nice. They need something to cheer about.
I just wanted to throw anything.
Yeah, they're fine. They're just dressed like monsters.
Yeah, that's right.
Every Sunday's Halloween in the dog pound.
Davies, 2nd down, goal at the 6. If the dog pound is down there, it's now moved up here. The pitch out to Cobbs. Holstein gives a block, as does Gorin. Tackle is made by Little. It's a gain of 1 by Cedric Cobbs, again a rookie out of Arkansas, getting his first extensive playing time of the season today.
You think about, too, the situation here, possibly injury-wise, for New England. You know, you've had Gay at numerous situations kind of dinged up. You've had Corey Dillon a little bit dinged up. You've had Joe Andruzzi a little bit dinged up. And it's a football team that's had plenty of dings and bangs coming in here.
Patrick Pass becomes a fullback. Bethel Johnson remains. 2nd down. Make it 3rd down and goal from the 6. And Cobbs trying to carve his way for as much as he can find in the middle. There's not much. He just gets a yard in the middle of that line. Makes the stop. Big Orpheus Roy in there.
See, to a large degree, too, now you're seeing the play calling of Charlie Weiss change a little bit. He got his big play to Tom Brady, the pass down the field, and there's Charlie Weiss right there, who's on a lot of people's short lists as a future head coach in this league, along with Romeo Crennel, the defensive coordinator for the Patriots. But it's run, and then if you can't, failing that, maybe play action.
Maybe on 4th and goal. Cobbs fumble on the play. It snaps back up in the air. It was recovered at the 8-yard line. The Browns say they've got it. Michael Jameson coming out of the pack. And the Browns stop the Patriots.
A lot of that's compassion, too, Kevin. That's not trying to run it up. That's running the ball when you could pass it.
Timeout, 10:30 to play. Randy, at the top of the show, here is what you said to look for today.
Well, the formula is simple for the New England Patriots. It's really been just, you're going to pass the ball for a touchdown, you're going to run for a couple touchdowns, you're going to score off turnovers, you're going to score on special teams. Cleveland's been some positives. The turnovers they've forced, a touchdown they scored at the end of the first half. Life right now, as for a Cleveland Brown, is an audition.
7-yard line after the New England fumble. It's 1st and 10, and here comes McCown, and he's going to air it out, going deep, and he's down the middle for Northcutt, who beats Dexter Reed at the 40. Flag is down.
Yeah, it's going to be pass interference, and despite that little push, Northcutt catches it. So that was a heck of a pass by McCown. There's plenty of things to like about this kid. You know, he falls away a lot when he's throwing the ball, and probably fundamentally he could use a little tightening up.
Pass interference, defense, 42. That penalty has declined. Result of the play, completion, first down.
It'll be at the 40-yard line.
The ball is thrown inside the goal line, so he's in the end zone. About 58, 59 yards in the air, and Reed gets a little bump on him right before the catch.
53-yard hit, 40-yard line. It is 1st and 10 for McCown. Here comes Ted Johnson. There goes the McCown pass, deep and caught. It's the second touchdown grab today by Antonio Bryant. The second touchdown thrown by McCown, the rookie, in his first NFL start.
Those are proud parents of Luke McCown. He and his wife, Luke's wife sitting in the end zone, and a couple of just highlight film passes by McCown, feeling this blitz by Teddy Johnson, 52, steps up, and then just flat lets it rip.
Good-looking pass.
Say, this kid's got a lot of that, bad body mechanics, but great arm stuff that Brett Favre, body going one way, throwing it the other way, that we've seen a lot out of Favre up there in Green Bay. Some of those don't emulate me's.
So he goes 53 yards to Northcutt, and he goes...
They're going for 2 here.
40 yards to Bryant, and they're going to go for 2. Why not?
They had one long one to Northcutt, and then just as long. It's like half the field on one pass and the other half of the field on the other pass.
53 to Northcutt, 40 to Bryant. Here they are trying for 2. Two-point conversion. Steve Hyden caught a couple touchdowns last week, 3 to be exact, against Cincinnati. Get the 2 points. Second touchdown reception for Antonio Bryant, who worked on Dexter Reed.
Hey, it's a buffet with feet. What are those guys doing? Talk about safe, huh?
Geese and seagulls. You can have seagulls. I'll take the geese.
I guess it's not hunting season, huh?
And New England has called a timeout after Cleveland was getting ready to.
Oh, he's riveted. He can't wait.
Most of the fans are in the dog pound and going to remain in the stadium with a huge lead for the New England Patriots.
Those Patriots fans might want to rethink their seats.
Yeah. Dave Manning has thrown 4 touchdown passes today, and
that's three today. He came in with 41. So sometime next week, maybe the week after, but they go to Houston next week to play the Houston Texans. And I tell you, and the great thing about this is the playoff picture is really starting to solidify on the AFC side, and another week just makes the playoff picture almost as jumbled. And take a look at Brady there.
Wiping the eye black off.
If you ever wondered how you get those eye black patches off, now you know.
Yeah, it's clean. It used to be messy when it was the grease stick.
Yeah.
They just smear all over your face.
You just close your eyes and rub hard enough to make your eyes water and your nose run.
Yep. And use a towel to do your business, huh? All right, well, here's Phil Dawson, and it looks like he's going to try an onside kick. Well, the Patriots are ready for anything. They got guys back at the 10, and that's why the Patriots are the Patriots. They're ready for anything, and this is Bethel Johnson inside the 15. He returned to kickoff to open up the game for 93 yards, and he's brought down by Unk, a 23-yard return. And also on that tackle was Eric Westmoreland. Tonight on 60 Minutes, why would Bob Dylan break his long silence and do his first television interview in 19 years? There's only one way to find out. Watch 60 Minutes tonight here on CBS.
That'll be interesting, huh? Be nice to hear him talk. You could actually, his name. What do you mean, Mr. Bradley?
What?
Ed Bradley. Mr. Bradley, hey.
Well, if he talks the way he sings, it's going to be a very tough interview to understand.
Or long.
Yeah, really long. They got Hatton along with Troy Brown as receivers. Rohan Davey begins another series. They fumbled the last time, and Cleveland was pretty efficient going the other way on a couple long passes. And here's Falk on 1st and 10. Slipping by a couple tacklers, and finally Michael Myers among many making the tackle at about the 49. 14-yard run and a first down. The 49-yard line of Cleveland.
There's a look at the AFC playoff picture. I think it's pretty safe to say that New England's going to win this one at 11-1, and you see the Jets are ahead 29-7. So we've basically said that one is over and given them the 9-3. But that game on CBS here coming up next for some is that San Diego and Denver game. That is going to be a war.
50-yard line, 1st and 10. Kevin Falk. Blocked by Graham. Tackle made by Gardner at the 46, gain of 4.
You know, and you look at the NFC side, it's a little less defined.
Yeah.
You know, you look at the teams with the good records, and there's a few of them. You know, Atlanta lost today to Tampa Bay, and then it's the widget-ditches. You know? How about the rest of the NFC? Did you bring a widget, did you?
Yeah.
Tampa Bay now 5-7. Making their move, baby. That's amazing.
Passes in the backfield, 46-yard line. And that was a play blown dead in mid-motion on a 2nd and 6. Clock is at 8:24, and the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick looking to go to 11-1. It'll be their best.
Prior to a snap, encroachment, 97, defense, 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
It'll be the Patriots' best start through 12 games in their franchise history at 11-1.
Good way to back up your Super Bowl championship from last year. And,
wow.
You know, honestly, what this is really about for New England, I've said it earlier, it's about home field advantage at this point. They're going to win their division. And I know you say the Jets are 9-3. New England's going to win the division. And you've got Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh also, 10-1, 11-1, possibly if they can beat Jacksonville tonight. You want the home field no matter which conference you're in.
2 tight ends, 2nd down and 1. Kevin Falk around the Holstein block, and he's taking the place of the injured Andruzzi. Gain of 7, 1st down, 34 Cleveland. And the tackle made in the middle there by all kinds like Alvin McKinley, for one.
See the Jets now in the upcoming schedule from New England. The Jets are the only team with a winning record. Or San Francisco, they might have to call the SPCA out for that. And the Pittsburgh Steelers next month. A little bit different. You know, you got some teams that are fighting for their lives in that list. Led by tonight with Jack Del Rio and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Troy Brown has played on both sides of the ball today in this season. 1st down and 10, Kevin Falk. Tackled by Westmoreland. No gain. 2nd and 10. Falk had a touchdown run earlier today of 10 yards and looked good doing it.
Troy Brown hasn't played much offensive line or running back or quarterback, but outside of that today, he's done a little bit, as always, of everything. And it started in the preseason. He was playing defense and wide receiver and returning kicks back in August. And he's kept it up throughout this entire season.
2nd down and 10, 34-yard line of the Browns. They're in a 4-3-4. And the fake by Rohan Davey. And the pass a little bit too high for Brown, who only stands 5'10". Davey taking the place of Brady. Those are the numbers on Rohan Davey.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier about stats not being quite as important, I think, when you start measuring quarterbacks. Here's some of the numbers that I prefer personally. You know, obviously he does it with a lot of help, but what quarterback doesn't? You know, how many successful championship quarterbacks have there ever been that are one-man shows? How about none?
Earl Little is a fifth defensive back, 3rd and 10. They got to get inside the 25-yard line. And Davey, who had 3 receivers deployed, was it incomplete. And the flag is thrown late.
No, that's coming from deep. It's going to be a little push-off against the receiver down the field.
There's also a new center in the game for the New England Patriots, Gene Murchkowski. And he has been seeing some time here the last couple series as we watch a lot of players who don't see the kind of time as second and third string guys play.
Pass interference, 85, offense. That penalty has declined. 4th down.
Jed Weaver.
When you get pass interference on a play like that, it usually entails a guy downfield just sort of either holding or blocking a defensive back to keep him away from a pass that the quarterback's throwing away.
Here is, maybe not surprisingly, only the second punt today by Josh Miller. They punted the very first time. Timeout taken by New England. Patrick Pass is not out there.
Timeout, New England. That's a team second charge timeout.
So this will be the second punt for the Patriots with a lead of 42-15, 6.5 to play. Cleveland will be getting a punt from Josh Miller, the ex-Pittsburgh Steeler. And a high hanging and unreturnable punt, which will be a touchback to the 20-yard line. 34-yard punt. Coming up on the Subway postgame show, join Greg, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, all kinds of reports and highlights from around the NFL. It's a very, very busy day in the NFL. These guys will get you up to date on the Subway postgame show. Rod Sherry is now checked in the secondary. They've got Tully Badger-Kane playing a linebacker. Troy Brown is still in there. As a defensive back, Don Davis is still in the game. Earthwind Moreland is playing the corner. A lot of names familiar for Patriot fans. McCown on 1st and 10. Chimandu is hit by the aforementioned Troy Brown and knocked out of bounds at about the 39. 19-yard pickup for the rookie running back out of Cal.
Troy Brown basically lined up in a linebacker position on 1st down.
Now that would be new.
No, for all intents and purposes, that's where he was.
Yep.
He was basically at the right outside linebacker spot.
Players, I would assume, would enjoy that playing on both sides of the ball.
Some do, some don't. I think the common theme in New England is when asked to do something, I think most of the players just say yes.
There's a 1st and 10 dump off, and Hayden has it. And he is chased and brought down by Gerard Cherry and also by Don Davis. 8 consecutive completions by McCown. Gain of 8. He's out to about the 47.
And you talk about the guys that are sort of double dipping. Richard Seymour, nice block today, leading Corey Dillon for both his touchdown runs. Mike Vrabel been a touchdown machine from that tight end position.
Hey, Christian Fourier was playing defensive back earlier in the game. 2nd down and 2 from the 47. Chimandu goes right into Larry Izzo, pushes him back, and a 1st down. Bowling ball move to the 47-yard line, a gain of 6. There's Troy Brown, and he's put in some great years in this league. He's won a couple of championships with this franchise.
And it really tells you something about the attitude of not only Troy Brown, but this team. A 12-year player, I mean, a guy that has been around and has got some miles on him. You know, suddenly it's kind of like taking a car and getting 100,000 miles on it, then trying to take it to a drag strip.
1st and 10. Kerpakis is applying pressure. Ty Warren is applying pressure, and McCown throws downfield, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Troy Brown. How about that? Brown makes the pick, and that is Brown's first career interception.
We talk a little bit. I've talked a little bit about Nick Saban and his defensive backs at LSU. He loves to take wide receivers and turn them into defensive backs because of their ball skills. See some ball skills here?
Look at that.
Those are ball skills.
I had to think about it for a second.
Yeah. Intercepted by Troy Brown.
Troy Brown. That's terrific. And the Patriots will begin it at the 24.
And he doesn't leave the field.
No, he stays on.
Not like you go back to the bench and start enjoying your interception.
A lot of turnovers today for the Cleveland Browns. 4 to be exact. First and 10, Rohan Davey with Kevin Falk, who is nearing 100 yards like Dillon. Here's the handoff and a tackle by Anthony Henry, and he slithers his way to the 30 and picks up 5. And coming up next after football, U.S. and international superstars of the slopes let it all hang out at the Jeep King of the Mountain competition from Colorado. Right here on CBS. I mentioned that Dillon had 100 yards, 18 carries, 100 yards. We could have 2 separate 100-yard rushers. Falk, 11 carries and 85 yards today. That is something. Second down and 5. 2 times. Davey to Falk. Tackled by Griffith and by Michael Myers on that line. Gain of 2 to the 31.
Kevin, I've talked a lot about how this organization in Cleveland is going to have to rebuild. And a name that's very popular as far as next in line for the job has been Scott Pioli from the New England Patriots. In fact, he's mentioned everywhere a job seems to come up. I talked to him before the game today. And he basically said, hey, my position hasn't changed. I am perfectly happy in New England. We have built something special, and I have no intention of leaving. So, that says to me, take him off the list. Move down the list to somebody else. Because why would he leave?
Third and 3 for David. He throws to Jed Weaver, and the ball's knocked free. I think he may have been down, but they say it was loose. Mason Unk gets the fumble. They do rule it a fumble. It's at the 37-yard line. It was a gain of 7 until Weaver, who makes his second reception of the season, was hit, coughed it up. Are they going to say it was a catch? No fumble, right? Are they wiping it away?
Yeah, they're calling him down.
Okay.
He was pointing to the ground. The official on the sideline.
Looked like he was
knee down ball. Yeah, the knee is down before the ball comes out, I think. Knee, ball out. Yep, that was a good call on the side.
Second reception of the season for Weaver.
There's Jerry Bergman there, the head linesman, made that call.
38-yard line, handoff to Falk, and grabbed and brought down by Mason Unk, one of the linebackers. Michael Myers in there, gain of 1. Takes us to the 2-minute warning.
Remember we talked about New England's formula for winning. That was their 48th rushing attempt of the game.
Second down and 10. 2-minute warning. Rohan Davey is in, and the pitch out goes to Cedric Combs. Brought down by Tyrone Rogers. Gain of 5 to the 43.
Earlier in the game, I was telling you about part of that New England formula for winning and what they've done in the last 4 games since they lost the game to Pittsburgh. And look at that today, 48 rushes, 223 yards, a season high, and 37 minutes in time of possession. That's not using a highlight of a quarterback's game. That's finding a way week in and week out to win the best way you can, and that's what this team is about.
Third and a long 5. And Davey, the pitch out to Cobbs, who is tripped up nicely by Eric Westmoreland, loss of 2. Subway postgame show is next. Greg, Dan, Shannon, Boomer have the latest NFL scores and highlights. That's the Subway postgame show next from New York. Executive producers of the NFL on CBS, Sean McManus and Tony Petiti. Today's game was produced by Bob Bonsbach, directed by Suzanne Smith. Senior producer of CBS Sports, the NFL Today, Eric Mann. Director Bob Matina, coordinating producer of CBS Sports, Harold Bryant. And the associate directors of today's game, Fred Johnson, Jonathan Siegel, broadcast associates, Andy Friedman and Julie Landa. And the technical manager, Doug Red Meat Fleetum. The technical director is Chris Romanek. The audio supervisor, Dave Grundvig. Our videotape supervisor, Mookie Frantic. Marion Frantic from Cleveland, Ohio. Here's the punt. This is Dennis Northcutt, who was brought down, obviously, on the play by Dexter Reed. Special thanks, too, to terrific stat man and Pat McGrath, Gary Brown, and Robert Harlan. 40-yard punt and 11-yard return.
That's what's coming up for the Cleveland Browns in the next 4 weeks of that 5-week audition we talked about from the very beginning. It's up to Terry Robiskie and this football team in the next month of games to judge and find out where they're at and where they're going for next year.
10 seconds remain. And McCown, who has thrown 2 touchdown passes today, both to Antonio Bryant, lining up at his 32, first and 10. And Echimandu with the gain of 5, and that will be our final play, and that is our final score. New England has won 5 straight. The Cleveland Browns have lost 6 in a row. For Randy Cross, Kevin Harlan saying so long. Coming up next, the Subway postgame show. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.